Don't just dream about a brighter future. Go for it. If you want to pursue a career involving technology, look to a leader in technology education, ITT Technical Institute. ITT Tech offers career-focused programs in electronics technology, information technology, and drafting and design. Call 800-741-5123. You can develop knowledge and skills that you can use to pursue opportunities in a variety of career fields. ITT Tech's programs are designed to give you practical, real-world experience. Classes and day or evening courses meet just a few days each week. Career services are available for students and graduates, and financial aid is available for those who qualify. Would a career involving technology make your dreams come true? Call ITT Tech right now for more information. Call 800-741-5123. 800-741-5123. That's 800-741-5123.
Blog Talk Radio.
And it's Halloween.
It is Halloween.
We're doing the Halloween episode.
All right, turn off the music before we get sued.
All right, welcome to the show, Frank the Unicorn Radio program. Sunday night, 7 o'clock. That means it's time for Frank and Beans.
It does.
Welcome, Beans.
Welcome, Frank.
Thank you. All right, so it's Halloween. We're on live. We have a whole lot of stuff to talk about. We expect and hope for a very interactive show this week.
That is, of course, if we don't get stabbed, because it's Halloween.
That's true. We may be randomly interrupted by trick-or-treaters along the way, so that should be some fun stuff if that happens.
Or by Michael Myers.
Michael Myers possibly could.
Or by Mike Myers, which would be scarier these days.
That could also happen. So we have a lot going on. Now, there are two things I just want to address real quick, because we're actually live on the air on actual Halloween. It's
actual Halloween.
It's the 31st.
No fake Halloween here.
It's
not like The Simpsons where Halloween's a week later.
A week late, right. And then they make reference to it, and then they repeat that episode, and you're going, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Why are they... Anyway.
That's my point.
Two things we're not going to do. We absolutely will not be playing... I can't say otherwise because, this show gets out of control very quickly. So, but I'm going to say this. A, we will not play Thriller.
We will not play Thriller.
We will not play Thriller. I heard Thriller probably... It was on like 17 times on our way here. Can we raise the volume at all? Sure, we can raise the volume. Okay. So we will not be playing Thriller. That's first.
That's disappointing. I like Thriller.
Well, it's a fine song. Everyone plays it on Halloween. We don't do things the way other people do things, or the way other shows do things. So we therefore will not.
Can we play just a disco mega mix of the Vincent Price rap section?
That may be okay, but the other thing we're not going to play is Monster Mash. We're not going to play that either, because these are like the only two real Halloween songs anyone plays on Halloween.
But I've got an Oingo Boingo version of Monster Mash that I just adore.
That we would play that because we're such fans of Oingo Boingo.
That's what I'm saying.
And because we feel like if we played that, they wouldn't get so upset with us, let's say.
Well, they wouldn't sue us for that. Bobby Pickett would.
For using, but they would they would be happy that we were showing their cover or playing their cover. They wouldn't get so upset about the fact that we play one of their songs or a little portion of one of their songs every week as the intro.
A very legally allowable little portion.
Yes, a very small portion. So, all right, so we have a whole ton of stuff. As we mentioned, we got a great Halloween-themed, obviously, show because it is Halloween.
It is Halloween.
So here's what we're going to do. First, I'm just going to give you the outline like we always do. We're going to talk about Halloween pranks.
I've got a Halloween cold, so don't mind me coughing into the mic every 5 seconds.
The cold. It's you know what? It's the Halloween cold. It's scary.
You're the one who's going to get sick. You should be scared.
Right. That's just because we were making out before the show, but that has nothing to do with anything.
Only before the show?
Right. Well, we'll see about after. Let's figure out how much candy you give me. All right.
I figure our listeners want it during.
I like Halloween because Beans will give me candy and I don't even have to go into his van, which is great. Okay. So we're going to talk Halloween pranks.
You're out of my age range.
A brief history of trick-or-treating. He's just kidding.
Sure he is.
I want to talk about homemade costumes a little bit. We're also going to talk, and I've got a picture I'm going to put on the website too. I'll show you some great Fraggle costumes, which really inspired
Fraggle costumes?
Yeah. You'll see.
Is that why you were asking me about Fraggles the other day?
Yes, that's exactly why. We're also going to, obviously, we'll do what we're watching, and it's horror-themed. I watched a bunch of bad horror movies this week. I'm sure you probably did.
I watched a bunch of good horror movies this week.
Good, so we'll have a good interplay there. Okay. We've got quickly becoming one of the more popular segments, the Beans List, and I expect this one to pretty much carry through the whole show. I think we're going to probably carry. We've got a specified time frame for it, but let's face it, it's a great topic of discussion this week. It's going to go on.
People are going to get hurt.
People are going to love this one. Okay,
and they're going to get hurt.
We're gonna do the rank and file. We're going to talk about horror bad guys, right? Are we going to rank them? Are you going to rank them?
I want to rank them. That's the idea.
Okay, we're going to rank the horror bad guys.
I don't have them ranked because I wanted to leave that up to the listeners and to us just talking about it.
To figure it out. Okay, that's a good thing. We've also got local. We got
because Black Yellow always wins.
All right, so we've got our local music segment. Special guest this week is Jack Licata, and he's got some upcoming shows. We're going to talk about that. We're going to play one of his tracks, so that'll be good. As always, we've got This Week in Bacon.
But it's Halloween bacon.
It's Halloween bacon. It's Halloween related, and we're going to throw a little something in.
Not orange bacon.
It's
unpleasant.
It's not. We're gonna throw a little something in for the ladies because we're going to talk about Hello Kitty as well.
I thought that famous actor that you recognize but don't know is what we have this week for the ladies.
It could be, and that's Angus Scrim
for the ladies.
And of course, we have our How Unicorn Are You segment. This week is going to be the Halloween themed edition, so that'll be a good one too. So let's talk quickly about Halloween pranks and a brief history of trick-or-treating because...
Well, when I got here, our producer was crying, and that was due to a Halloween prank.
Yes, I played a Halloween prank on her. Now, here's the thing. For people that don't know, Halloween was a much different holiday 70, 80 years ago. Okay, it wasn't anything like what we have now. Halloween was actually was a night where people went out and did legitimately damaging things. They did bad things. They pulled real pranks, and it got to a point where almost like The Crow in the movie The Crow, how they have Hell Night, and everyone goes out and destroys the city. That's really what it was getting to in the 20s and 30s, where because of the Great Depression there was a lot of unemployment, there was restlessness, and the pranks were always kind of tolerated, but it started getting really bad with people like setting fires and breaking windows and killing livestock, just awful stuff.
Yikes.
That they would call pranks. And the reason that they would dress in costume, obviously, is they wanted to hide their faces. They didn't want people to see who they were. So this is where trick-or-treating came from, because it was a way to kind of pay off the young troublemakers. If people are going around getting free stuff at every house, they're not going to be so willing to break and destroy things. They're not going to have time to go out and break and destroy stuff because they'll be at dances, they'll be at parades, they'll be at parties, they'll be trick-or-treating. So that's kind of where the whole thing of trick-or-treating comes from. But here's the thing, is that now the modern Halloween is all based on trick-or-treating.
So it is.
Okay, most of our experiences, collective experiences, are all related to trick-or-treating. Not a lot of pranking goes on Halloween as it did in the olden days, back in the day, as they would say.
Back in the day.
So I decided, now a part of this too is because, and we'll get to this in what we're watching, the movie Phantasm. I made the producer, it's my wife, I made her watch, it's Mrs. the Unicorn, I made her watch Phantasm. And her reaction to it surprised me so much that I decided I had to pull an all-time Halloween prank on her.
And it certainly sounds like you did.
So, I decided to do that. I decided to prank her, okay?
Because she didn't like Phantasm.
Because she didn't like Phantasm, and claimed that, it's too hard to scare me. I'm not scarable. So I decided to put that to the test and use it as a challenge, sort of, to see if I could trick her and prank her and scare her. And I did. And here's how I did it, okay? I said, okay, look, I'm gonna take a shower. This is earlier in the day. I said, I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna use the guest bathroom, which is out, towards the living room. And she's, why are you using? Well, because I never use a guest bathroom, but I'm gonna use a guest bathroom because, the window's there. It's bright. It's nice. I feel like I want to have.
You like to show off a little for the ladies.
I don't want to show off, but I said, our other shower is really dark and private, and I just kind of feel like having some light. It's kind of a sad day.
You want the neighbors to see
it's
your
Halloween,
as it were.
No. So I'm in there, and in reality, it's closer for her to come in when I start screaming. Is really why I was in there. So,
well, honey, I want to shower in there because it's closer for you to hear me when I start screaming.
Right.
Did you say that to her?
No, I didn't.
Because that would erect your prank right there.
It totally ruined it. So I didn't do that. What I did was, instead, I went in and I took a shower. Okay, I had to be committed to this prank. I committed to it. So I took a shower, took a full shower, and decided, shaved most of the way. Again, selling the prank, the details, okay? The details. Shaved most of the way, took a pack of fake blood that I had gotten, cut it open with the razor that I was using to shave, okay? So now there's blood all over the razor, there's blood all over my hand. I then take the rest of the blood, squirt it all over my neck, okay? Hold my hand up to my neck and scream.
And suddenly you're in a Saw movie.
With profanity, you know, for her to help me. I don't open the curtain, okay? She runs in, I'm thrashing around. She opens the curtain, sees me holding the razor with the blood. Blood's everywhere. I'm squeezing the fake blood out, and it's squirting, and there's just blood running everywhere, and it's all down my chest and everything. And she's, you know, she's afraid. She's afraid. So she starts freaking out. She's screaming. I decide to sell it a little more. I start gurgling, thrashing around. I fall down in the water, okay, into the water on the bottom of the tub. I had kicked the drain closed. And so the water was filling up. So for effect, so I go down, I slump down in there, and she's trying to pull me out, you know, and as she's screaming and crying and trying to pull me out, I pop up and I say, "Happy Halloween, you've been pranked." That's a trick.
You are a horrible human being.
And here's the best part. Easy cleanup.
You're in the shower.
Just had to finish taking a shower.
Yeah.
Now, you know, here's the thing. If you're going to prank someone,
did the soap sting at all from her tears?
No, it did not. But if you're gonna prank someone, there's certain elements in this that make it really a great prank. One is the element of surprise. She had no idea that I had fake blood in the house, so she couldn't expect that anything was going to happen with that. Okay, number one. Number two, I had not mentioned pranking or doing pranks or any of that part of Halloween at all. Completely stayed away from it. Okay. Had mentioned how it didn't really feel like Halloween because there wasn't a lot of Halloween stuff going on because it's Sunday, and Sundays are, you know, it's a little weird.
And because we're in South Florida.
And because we're in South Florida, yeah. So, totally unexpected. Didn't even know I had the stuff to do it. And I pranked her naked. I was naked the whole time this prank was going on. You have got to be so committed to pranking and tricking someone if you're willing to do it nude. Full on naked, and I was full on naked, and that is how you get committed. That is commitment.
Had she opened the curtain and found you in a Speedo, it probably would not have sold the prank as well.
Well, I mean, you know, there's no other way really to do it. What am I going to do? Just, you know, because I'm going to get fake blood all over a shirt, so that doesn't, you know, and it's a more desperate situation when someone's nude. They're more vulnerable, so it makes it more frightening that they're bleeding all over the place.
The problem now is in a week or so, when you actually do sneeze in mid-shave and you slice open your jugular, she'll be like, yeah, whatever, have a nice day, unicorn boy.
Well, you know, we'll see.
And then you bleed out in the shower.
I don't really anticipate slicing open.
Nobody anticipates it.
I don't shave with a straight razor, and I don't think a lady Bic is really going to do it.
Do you have any idea how many blades they put in those things these days?
This was a triple blade razor.
That's what I'm saying.
That was another part of being committed
to it. 15 blades in every razor.
Because you know it's dangerous. You know it's dangerous, okay? It's like using Freddy's glove to shave.
The precision trimmer when you think you're just moving along with your day.
And then you end up bleeding in the shower.
You're going to bleed out in the shower.
It doesn't become a, you know. Anyway, all right. So that was the prank I played earlier. So what I want people to think about, and our first sort of thing that we're going to throw out there, if you've played some particularly great Halloween prank, you should call into the show or contact us on Twitter or email us and let us know what that prank is. We would love to know that. So
how would they call us and Twitter us and email us?
I'm so glad you asked. Look, we're in Paranormal Activity. All right.
I thought it was in a Time Life commercial.
34732. Is that Freedom Rock, man? All right. We've not mentioned Freedom Rock nearly enough on this show. Turn it up, man. Okay. All right. 347-326-9700. Show at franktheunicorn.com. Twitter.com at franktheunicorn. And we're looking for your pranks, your tricks. Now, there's another one I want to talk about because there's one that comes up every year. Okay. I'm sure you've done some great Halloween pranks.
I really haven't. I've never really been a prank guy.
No?
No, more about the getting people together to watch monster movies.
That fits perfectly. So then, okay, let me give a little caution. This is a little cautionary tale then for our listeners.
A cautionary tale?
Yeah, because
tonight on a very special Frank the Unicorn.
Alex P. Keaton kills a hooker? No, okay. All right, all right. So we're going to keep going back to that. It's a dead horse. We're going to beat it to death.
On a very special Life with Wanda.
Okay. So here's my advice, okay? Because I feel like if I'm encouraging people to prank a little bit, I don't want people to do anything that's actually dangerous or is going to cause real damage or really hurt anyone or anything like that, okay? I don't even advocate...
Like pretending to slice open your neck with your Schick Quattro.
Right. I can't, well, Lady Daisy Bic 3, but...
Why are you using a Lady Daisy Bic 3?
Because I have such sensitive skin.
Is that... Are you...
I'm serious.
You just...
Yes.
Show's over, everyone.
All right, anyway. And I have such a great beard, too. But all right, so...
Maybe you should vajazzle the beard while you're at it.
The goatee. All right, yeah, maybe I should. All right, but so...
Unicorn tea at this point.
Well, glue rhinestones to your face for 5 o'clock shadow. That would be great. So, all right, one thing I want to caution people against, because one of the popular ones I always hear people talk about is Nair bombing cats or pets.
I've never heard of this until you mentioned it.
Nair bombing. You know what that is. You know what Nair is. You know what Nair is. It's a debilatory. It makes hair fall out.
I assume you use it because your butt is very smooth today.
There you go. Okay, so... Wow. All right. So, anyway, popular thing or discussed, I hear discussed a lot, is to Nair bomb. So you put Nair on a pet and make the pet's hair fall out, and then it doesn't grow back, and it's really funny.
That is horrible.
It is horrible, and here's why I'm telling people, don't do this. This is an internet thing. People on the internet talk about this a lot. Do not do this. This is not a good prank. The reason this is not a good prank, okay, there are many. Number one, you're actually psychologically very damaging and physically hurting an animal, which is never a smart thing to do.
No.
Should not do that, okay? No right to do it. Number two, this stuff stinks so badly, there's no way for you to get away with this because you're going to smell like it for days, okay?
That sounds like experience.
Well, no. Hold on. Number three, you can't just put Nair on something and expect hair to fall out. It doesn't work. You've got to rub it in, let it sit, and then wash it away like 5-10 minutes later. So unless you feel like holding on to a cat and putting
which I often do,
a smelly product on it, which possibly would hurt its skin, I can imagine it would probably be hurting as well. Unless you feel like holding on to this cat, which by the way they have claws, they scratch. Right?
They do scratch.
And when they get angry, like when they're put with depilatory on them, bad idea. So it's just a bad idea all the way around. And the other part of it is...
Unless you have a lot of fake blood, and then you can say that the cat scratching you cut your jugular, honey, please come help.
No, it doesn't work because you're not naked. You're not nude in a shower, and you don't want to be naked around a cat.
You're not nude with the cat?
No. You really shouldn't be.
We do this differently, then.
All right, so anyway, and the other point of it is cats lick themselves to get themselves clean, so you don't want the cat licking Nair. Okay, so it'll poison the cat. So do not Nair bomb cats. I realize it's a popular thing to do on the internet. It sounds really funny.
And besides that, licking Nair is now a great band name.
Hashtag licking Nair. There's our first one. Who knew that would be our first hashtag on our Halloween show?
I think you.
So don't Nair bomb cats. And if you're gonna play pranks, which again, prank your friends, prank your families, whatever, coworkers, fine. Make sure they're safe. Make sure they're reasonable. We don't want to have to invent some new thing because you guys are out there pulling really bad pranks. And more importantly, I don't want to be responsible for any damage or anything that anyone does out there hearing, Frank the Unicorn said pull some pranks. Pull innocent pranks where no one gets hurt. But pull some pranks, for God's sakes. It's Halloween. That's part of the tradition of what Halloween's all about. Trick or treat.
These pranks are performed by professionals. Please do not attempt this at home.
347-326-9700. If you've got a prank that you are proud of or unproud of, if you want to cop to something that maybe you want to talk about something that maybe you pulled a prank, maybe you never bombed a cat, and you're not proud of that, and you realize the error of your ways and you want to confess. 347-326-9700.
Show at franktheunicorn.com or Twitter at franktheunicorn.
All right. So I mentioned the Fraggle thing real quick.
You did mention the Fraggle thing.
Okay. Because a person I know, I'll just show you the picture here, Beans. You can see the picture. These are all homemade Fraggle costumes.
That is snaztacular.
Aren't those great?
The Wembley in particular totally has his look down.
Yeah, and the red is good too.
Yeah. Check out the socks.
Yeah, they were committed. They went all the way.
They did.
Yeah.
Moki needs some work.
A little bit, but it's a fast costume. It still looks good. You know who they are. It works. So I just want to mention, because I'm always in favor of homemade costumes. I don't think there's anything wrong with going out and buying a costume. That's fine. It's a great way to get a great costume. A lot of people do it. You can come up with some creative stuff. You can mix things, whatever.
Oh, but homemade costumes are awesome.
there's always something really special. It's one of those little extra things that makes Halloween extra special when you get to see those homemade costumes where someone really took some time and spent time on it. They really were creative with it, and they did a good job.
Headlock.
Oh, yeah, Headlock always does great costumes. And this one is an Angry Bird. That's a good one.
That is good.
That is a good one. She's had some really good ones in the past, too. She had, like, a Pop Cherry. She went as a Dunkin' Donuts coffee, of course, with, like, a bunch of W's in it.
Yeah.
Coffee, yeah. So maybe we'll get her to, maybe if she's listening, she'll call in and talk to us a little bit about this Angry Bird costume, because it looks pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
We'll post a picture of that, too. If the producer will just remind me, we'll post that picture as well, because I want to put the Fraggles up on the website, and we'll put the Headlock's costume up on the website as well.
You know what those Fraggles needed?
What do they need?
Some doozers.
Yeah, doozer's not so easy to find.
But so cute.
So cute. Very
Connor
cute.
Pinn was adorable.
I did love me some Fraggle Rock. I'm excited to watch it on Netflix. I haven't watched any of it just yet. I've added it to the queue. I didn't start watching it yet because I didn't want to ruin Shocktober. I wanted to wait till it was November.
That's right.
When we get into more family-friendly fare.
You could watch the Fraggle Rock Scared Silly DVD, in which they do the scary episodes of Fraggle Rock.
There are scary episodes.
There are scary. When you're 5, yes, there
when
are.
they're 5, okay. Kind of like
Have
our
you read
producer.
Trash Heap talk to you? It's creepy.
Yeah, I've seen. I remember the Trash Heap, and I remember the one where I think Moki became the Trash Heap for one episode. I think.
Yep.
Right. And I haven't seen the show since like 1985, 87, somewhere around there. So that gives you an idea of the unicorn memory.
Netflix Instant, my friend. It's good stuff.
Fraggles are awesome. Okay.
They are.
So, yeah. Anyway, if you have a homemade costume that you have done yourself that you're very proud of, that you want to show off, give us a call, 347-326-9700, or contact us on Twitter, at Frank the Unicorn, or email us, show@franktheunicorn.com. We will put your homemade costume on our post. We'll put it up on the website there as sort of a wall of fame of homemade costumes.
Indeed we will.
My favorite Halloween costume ever was my Halloween costume from 1978 when I was 3 years old. My mom made me a Kermit the Frog costume, complete with ping pong eyeballs where my mouth was in my head came through the mouth hole. Like I was looking out of his mouth. It was fantastic.
My friend Brian, when he was about that age, his mom made him a Super Grover costume. So he wasn't just regular Grover. He was Super Grover. And it was awesome. He had the little helmet, the cape.
I know what I want to be for Halloween next year.
It was very cute.
Super Grover would be my ideal. What's your ideal Halloween costume? 347-326-9700. Twitter.com at Frank the Unicorn. Mine is Super Grover. You just found mine. That would be what about for you? What's your best? That would be the highlight of my Halloween costumes.
I don't know. I'd have to think about that a little bit. I don't really know what my ultimate Halloween costume would be. Give me some time.
Give you some time. All right. Now, keep in mind, got to beat Super Grover.
I suppose with my current build, I'd have to go with some sort of Steven Seagal costume. I'll have to slick my hair back and get the shoe polish V going.
Right.
So that my hair comes down to my eyebrows.
All right.
And break someone's wrist and throw them through a window while wearing a muumuu.
Awesome. I've actually got some Steven Seagal stuff in the How Unicorn Are You? I always do.
I got that in the What We're Watching. Because I watched his horror movie.
Oh, you did? All right. I have not watched that. I have not seen it. Let's get to it then. All right, let's get to that segment. Tell us about the Steven Seagal horror movie.
Against the Dark. I'm going to say
vampires, right?
Well, they can't really commit to it. It's sort of vampires. It's sort of zombies. It's basically just Steven Seagal versus some kind of creatures.
Some kind of undead being. Which may or may not be zombies or vampires or zombie vampires.
And does it matter? Because it's not like they're going to win against Steven Seagal.
Here's the thing, okay? We can determine with a couple of quick questions if they're in fact zombies or vampires. There's differences, very distinct differences. Number one, are they sullen teenagers?
They are not sullen teenagers, nor do they sparkle in sunlight.
Okay, so that would be a mark in favor of zombie away from...
It would.
Okay, away from vampires. Okay, are they hungry? Are they trying to eat? Are they searching for something?
Yes,
perhaps
that goes for both of them.
For brains, what are they eating? Are they going for brains, or are they on a liquid diet? Are they going for the
hard to say?
Blood?
It's not technically it's not his first horror movie because there have been a couple of others where originally it was gonna be like vampires or something like that, and then once he got hold of the script,
they made it into CIA.
They changed everything.
Right. These are drug runners. Instead.
Right, and all of a sudden they're just really strong henchmen.
Okay.
And
although vampire henchmen are pretty much the top of the list, or zombie henchmen are pretty good too.
So he finally got it through that he made an actual monster movie, and it is just blissfully dumb, and I cannot recommend enough that you watch it right now.
Well, I mean, Seagal versus, again, some sort of undead creature. How do they move? Do they move slowly? Do they move quickly?
They move pretty quickly. He doesn't anymore.
Well, no, of course not. We know that.
They move fairly quickly.
He's basically stationary.
He is.
If you want to fight with Steven Seagal, you actually have to go to his house, knock on the door, wait for the maid to let you in, go to the back, there he waits.
Yes.
Under a shade.
And if you're lucky, there he waits with his awesome Spanish accent, El Machete.
Right. I could still kill you very easily. All right. So tell us, give us some more. Like, what's the bet? Does he break arms and throw them through?
That's all you're getting. I want you to see this movie, and we'll report back to it next week.
Okay. All right. Well,
You've got homework, is what
I've got homework now. I've got some other ones to discuss here because I think there's a lot. Yes, Phantasm. Okay, I made the producer. I made Mrs. the Unicorn watch Phantasm. Now,
and that's a good thing to do.
It is, because here's the thing. Phantasm is one of the best horror movies of the 70s. It really is.
It's certainly one of the strangest.
It's very strange. It borders on sci-fi, and it's more like a sci-fi horror movie, really.
I don't think there's any border about it. I think
it's definitely okay. But here's the thing. There's so many cool elements to that movie. But the thing is, when you watch it, the reason I think that people may somewhat have a problem with it now is that it's so methodical. It's very slow and very, very methodical. And it's essentially...
They ramp up the action in the sequel.
Okay. It's essentially... The first 45 minutes are essentially replicated by the next 45 minutes.
True.
The characters do basically exactly the same things. There's a little bit of different results. They find some other stuff out. And there's a real mind trip ending. Because there's the end, and you think it's the end, and then there's another end.
Yep.
And... it's a surprise ending and then another surprise ending. Mm-hmm. And, of course, you've got one of the freakiest devices or elements used in horror, which is they're actually called Sentinels, which you don't find out till like the fourth, I think the last Phantasm movie.
Didn't even know they named them, and I've seen all four of those movies.
Yeah, and the balls, the silver balls that come flying around the corners.
Who doesn't just call them the balls?
With the blades that pop out, and they stick to the head, and they drill in and suck out the blood.
And make it squirt out.
And make it squirt out.
And then make it squirt out like a hose.
Right. And we see this, and the producer laughs. She laughs. She thinks it's funny. She thought that Phantasm was funny.
Well, you got to admit, it's kind of funny to see a guy clutching a giant silver ball in front of his face that is squirting out blood like your proverbial neck.
Well, and the supposedly evil bad guy has yellow cheese whiz looking blood.
Right.
Sorry.
Oh, that's not. Really I'm sorry. Hang on. Ho there. That is not yellow cheese whiz looking blood. That is embalming fluid, my friend.
Which looks like melted cheese whiz.
It's all explained.
Well, it's on a budget, but it is embalming fluid.
All right, so I just want to mention a couple things real quick off Twitter. We've got Deep in Your Tonsils. He's like he's our biggest fan. And he better never come to the studio because he's much funnier than me, and I don't like that. We love this guy. We do actually, but he's got the abominable Dr. Fives.
I love the Dr. Fives movies.
There you go. Suspiria, which I hear is awesome. Suspiria, yeah. Dario
Great music by Goblin.
Okay. Hostel. Have not seen that.
I have never seen Hostel.
I have not seen it either.
It's on my list.
The original Halloween, which of course we are fans of.
I was just watching the Inside Look earlier today.
You can't go wrong there. And Abby Bunny sent in a fan pic of her looking spooky while listening to our show, and there she is.
That is spooky.
She's all creeped out. Okay. You know why? Because she hears the silver balls, and they're gonna get her. They're gonna drain her blood from her head.
The balls will get you, folks.
That's right. So. So it's just this weird psychotic horror movie from the 70s.
Yeah.
It was made in 77. It came out in 79. She actually said when she saw Tommy the boy, she says, "Who's that girl?" because of his haircut.
Well, I mean, he did look.
He had the 70s hair.
They replaced him in the second. Oh no, so
they did, and you're right. Phantasm 2, yeah, they replaced him with James LeGros, and everyone associated with the Phantasm movies all disavows the second movie because the actor. Actually is, I believe, Baldwin. It's A. Stephen Baldwin, I think, or A.
Michael Baldwin.
Michael Baldwin. A. Michael Baldwin.
The problem is that James LeGros actually has really good chemistry with Reggie Bannister, and it kind of they're great together in Phantasm 2. It's kind of a shame because it's not a bad performance. I see why people are upset, but still. I gotta give props to the James LeGros because I thought he did a great job in Phantasm 2.
RHPS.
Rocky Horror
Picture Show, of course. I'm so out of it. All right.
You are.
Which is a big thing this week. It's been huge all over the place. At Lady Tinkerbell on Twitter. Rocky Horror Picture Show and Lost Boys. We love Lost Boys. We actually did a segment on Lost Boys. We talked about Edward Herman. And we've got some Rocky Horror Picture Show related questions later as well.
I want to go back to Deep in Your Tonsils for a moment.
Okay.
Partially because I love saying Deep in Your Tonsils, but also because The Abominable Dr. Phibes, there are a few better movies you can do for goofy Halloween fun. It is one of the strangest movies you'll ever see. There's also a sequel, Dr. Phibes Rises Again. It's Vincent Price at his kookiest. His wife dies, and he wants to get revenge on the doctors who he feels killed her.
Uh-oh.
Only he does it biblically. He does it by, I don't remember if it was the first one or the sequel where he recreates the 10 plagues to kill the doctors. But either way, it's just a very baroque, very strange little movie. And it is absolutely hysterical and fun. And it means to be. It's got a very warped sense of humor, but it means to be funny. And it's just a great flick. Can't recommend it enough.
So The Abominable Dr. Phibes.
Yes, and Dr. Phibes Rises Again. Both of them are a blast. He can't speak without hooking a little speaker up to his neck. He's silent through most of the movie.
Oh, that's fantastic.
He's got this clockwork band in his lair, like these little robot things that play music, and it is just awesome.
So we got a great suggestion on that. All right, cool. 347-326-9700, and again, twitter.com at Frank the Unicorn. So, when I saw Phantasm, it creeped me out, man, bad. I didn't really get it. I was, I think, too young to really understand it. It's a very difficult movie to get.
I'm 35 and I don't really understand it.
I mean, really, essentially what it is, okay, and if you haven't seen it, I'm going to ruin it for you. It doesn't matter. Watch it anyway. It's the tall man, which is this mortician.
Boy.
Played by Angus Scrim, who actually is our actor.
The sexy Angus
Scrim. Angus Scrim.
Ladies love Angus Scrim.
They
LL
do.
Cool Angus.
That's right. Anyway, he plays a tall man, which is the character name. He's Jebediah Morningside. Of course.
I didn't even remember he had a name. It was all about the tall man.
Yep, Jebediah Morningside. And essentially he's an alien. He's not really an alien. He's a being from another dimension, another world, another dimension. And he builds a dimensional portal, or he has a dimensional portal, and he comes into this planet, to Earth, and takes a job as a mortician and kills people to put them in the mortuary as well. He's not just waiting for stuff to happen naturally. And then he shrinks their bodies down into be these weird little dwarf zombies.
I think they prefer little zombies.
Little zombies. And then puts them back through the portal to work on his planet that he's from, wherever it is in that other dimension, as slaves. And Tommy and his brother, Jody, and their friend Reggie, figure this out because the parent...
World's coolest ice cream man, Reggie.
There you go. And he is really the cool... And, he looks a lot like Alan Rachins, actually.
He does. It's been a while. Does he have the Hemicuda in the first movie, or did that come along in the sequel?
He absolutely had it in the first movie. And, in fact, they lost the car between the first movie and the second movie. There was quite a delay between. It was like the first movie came out, like you said, it was made in 1977, came out in 1979. The second movie came out in 1988.
Yeah.
Right, so there was a big delay. They lost the car. They had to get a different Hemicuda.
Terrible.
Which then the Hemicuda has become also a symbol of that movie, just as much as almost as the flying balls.
And did he have the 4-barrel shotgun in that movie? That comes along in the second one?
That I think actually is in the third movie.
No, it's definitely in the second.
Is it the second one? Okay.
I don't remember it came out in the first, but it was definitely in the second.
Yeah, no, in the first one there's no 4-barrel shotgun.
It is the most badass gun I've ever seen in a movie.
Seagal needs to
forget
wield
RoboCop, forget that thing that Steve McQueen carried around in Wanted Dead or Alive. It's the 4-barreled shotgun that Reggie uses.
Even better than Ash's shotgun hand?
Yes.
Really?
It's a chainsaw hand. He doesn't have
that's right. He has a chainsaw hand and he has a shotgun, right. I forgot. Sorry. All right, no disrespect to Bruce Campbell. I apologize.
I felt some disrespect there.
All right. Well, anyway, you know what? He wasn't in Phantasm. Although if he was, it would have been a better movie. Because anything's better with Bruce Campbell.
And I'm going to bring him up just now because the guy who made Phantasm, Don Coscarelli, made one of my favorite movies of the last 10 years, which if you haven't seen it, have you seen Bubba Hotep?
Yes. Absolutely.
And I ask you all out there, if you haven't seen Bubba Hotep, this is a movie you need to see. You've got Bruce Campbell playing Elvis.
As a mummy, though, as an ancient Egyptian mummy as well.
He's not the ancient Egyptian.
Right, he's got to fight the mummy.
He's got to fight.
And he's in the mental institution with.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
He's not in a mental institution. He's in a rest home with.
I had this movie all wrong.
With JFK.
Right, played by Ossie Davis.
Which is the greatest thing in the world.
Especially,
they dyed me this color.
Yeah, especially I say if you actually are familiar with Ossie Davis and you know that he's an African American gentleman, you'll find it even funnier that he's playing JFK.
And it is an absolute blast of a movie.
And it takes place like in modern times. This is not like a movie that takes place back in the 60s when JFK would have still been alive, or Elvis would have been around.
It takes place now.
Now.
And it's great, and it's worth watching also on either DVD or Blu-ray because there is a fantastic commentary track by Bruce Campbell as the King, as Elvis through the whole thing.
That would be worth listening. That would be worth the whole thing right there.
If you've never seen the movie, it's worth the $20 for the blind buy on the Blu-ray or DVD. It's great. And all thanks to Don Coscarelli, the man who gave us Phantasm.
And also Beastmaster, I might add.
Beastmaster, yes.
Not that, Mark Singer.
I liked Mark Singer, but I was a big fan of the original V.
I liked V, but I just didn't care for Beastmaster. I thought it was just way too slow.
I don't really remember it, except that it was on HBO every 4 minutes when I was growing up.
We talked about Beastmaster. It comes up a lot on this show for various reasons. There's a lot of connections to it. But, all right, so that's where we're at on Phantasm. Now, I think people should go out and watch it. I think it's a fine horror movie.
And I got to point out again the music in Phantasm.
It's very good. It's very creepy.
Good music.
Yes. And it adds a lot to it. I mean, it's a kind of a trademark of 70s horror where the music really is used as more of an element than just jump scares.
It's a shame that after Phantasm, actually even Phantasm 2, I don't think, did Phantasm 2 play theaters or did it go direct to video?
Phantasm 2 did go to theaters. It didn't do particularly well.
I know 3 and 4 both went direct to video.
Yeah, straight to video.
Which is a shame because it's a fun series.
It's a very fun series, and I think anyone should watch it. All right. At Design Sponge, Walking Dead.
Well, The Walking Dead
and Zombies
is a TV show that premieres tonight on
by Frank Darabont.
Frank Darabont, the guy who gave us Shawshank Redemption and the incredibly underrated The Mist. It's based on a comic book by Robert Kirkman, which is probably one of the best comics on the stand right now. It's around its 76th or 77th issue right now, and it's just shows no signs of letting up. It's terrific. It's a great survival horror story.
And zombies, we've got to mention here for zombies as well.
Just zombies in general?
Just zombies. I'm not sure if that's a particular film. I'm not sure.
The show is about zombies.
Right. Well, I know the show's about zombies.
Well, we're talking about on Twitter everybody's favorite Halloween things to watch tonight, favorite horror movies, favorite.
So some people like to watch just zombie stuff.
Just zombies.
Which brings up the running zombies or walking zombies. People really get into that.
I guess. I do want to talk real quick about another film that we watched this week, because I have 3 of them. We did Phantasm. We also did another movie called Dolls.
Which I noticed you had listed on the thing here as Toys, which made me chuckle.
Toys?
That's a god-awful Robin Williams.
That is a god-awful Robin Williams movie.
That was my
Dolls. Dolls.
My least favorite Barry Levinson movie, and that's saying something. Which is a shame, because he used to be great.
Used to be is very true. All right, so Dolls.
Bandits, really?
The movie that Mrs. the Unicorn claims scares her more than Phantasm.
Well, some people are really creeped out by, dolls and clowns.
See, here's the thing. If you think that I'm bad with the tricks on her, okay, she watched this movie. Now, it's a horror movie.
This is the Stuart Gordon movie.
1987, right. You can interject. Creepy dolls come to life. They kill people. It's actually quite effective. It's actually quite effective. It's a quite effective movie. It is creepy. And surprisingly, the dolls in the film are really, really well done. It's late to mid-'80s. We're digging into the candy. It's a late to mid-'80s horror movie. It's not a high budget. It's an English movie, actually. It's not a high budget. But the effects...
it's Stuart Gordon.
Well, but the effects, so well done. Those dolls really looked great.
Yeah.
Even now, those effects hold up.
Oh, yeah. Stuart Gordon was always known for his... he did Reanimator. He did From Beyond. These are movies that delay their low budgets because they have... they're hugely successful in their meager special effects. It's amazing what that dude could do.
Well, here's what
the teams he hired could do, really.
Here's where it gets creepy, is that she watches Mrs. the Unicorn when she's a little girl, watches the movie, watches the film Dolls, okay? She was probably 10 or 11 years old, Now, as any 10 or 11-year-old girl is often, it's common.
8 or 9.
You were 8 or 9. Okay, sorry, 8 or 9. Okay, sorry. Selling you
That's
short.
not age, Mrs. the Unicorn.
No.
There's dolls in her room everywhere, right? Go ahead.
I'll just tell it quickly. I used to have shelves and shelves of dolls in my room, porcelain dolls that all looked over my bed. Watched dolls, freaked out, stopped the movie. When I went to go to sleep, asked my mom to turn all the dolls so they would face the wall and not my bed, which she did. And then I went to sleep. And then I woke up the next morning, and all the dolls were turned back around, facing my bed.
That's creepy
which
as
my
hell.
mother then swore for years that she did not do.
Has she admitted yet that she
has
did it?
now admitted that those dolls went into a box the next day, and I have not owned a porcelain
That would have
doll
scared
since.
me to death.
Yes.
I will give you that.
Scared me to
Faking a jugular injury is not so bad comparatively.
That's why
That
it's
is
so hard to
because
scare,
that's
because
really scary.
My mom also faked her death once. So, got home from school one day, mom was all bloody, laying on the floor, knife sticking out of her the whole night, and then she jumped up and thought it was the funniest thing in the world. So, really,
We have
That is
truly
some great
sick people.
That's some great parenting. All right. We got a call coming in.
We got a call coming.
Let's take a call. And I want to talk about paranormal activity, but let's take this call.
I know you do.
Caller, you're on the horn.
Hey, Franco, it's Alfredo Fettuccini.
Here we go. All right, Alfredo Fettuccini, our film director, our famous Italian film director. Cheesy, creamy, famous Italian horror
Mel
film
Brooks
director.
and Carl Reiner did that joke first, but go on.
Oh, well, whatever. Did they really?
They sure did.
Wow.
Federico Fettuccini.
All right, well, anyway, it doesn't matter because we got Alfredo
Hey,
on the line.
Alfredo.
Alfredo, how's it going?
Hey, it's going good. I'm working on a new film. You saw my lunch with Andre. I'm working on my lunch with Francesco. It's just a little variation.
It's similar, but not different.
No, we smoke more cigarettes.
For those, anyway, I don't. All right, so here's what we're talking about, Alfredo. You can give us your take on it because you do low-budget horror. You do the low-budget Italian horror, which has a lot more splatter involved in it, but Paranormal Activity, that's the other one I wanted to mention. Alfredo, have you seen Paranormal Activity?
I have not seen that.
Well, that's going to limit us.
That would do that. Yeah, you were talking about dolls.
Talk about dolls.
There was a TV movie, Karen Black, A Little Doll.
Trilogy of Terror.
Ah, yeah, that's it. That was scary.
It
that
was,
little
at least.
thing running around.
My thing about Trilogy of Terror is I'd really like to see it again because I do remember that being very scary, but I can't for the life of me remember what the other two stories are. I know there's 3 stories. I know Karen Black's in all of them. All anyone ever talks about is the one with the little Zuni fetish doll. Don't remember
Little
anything
doll
about the
with
other 2 stories.
stick you in the ankle.
It was a creepy little story.
All right.
I like The Haunting.
The Haunting, the original, the Claire Bloom.
Yeah, The Haunting. You don't see a thing. It scare you to death.
Very scary movie. It's on tonight, Turner Classic, 9:30.
That's what
After our show, go ahead and tune in.
There you go. Now you know what to do after the show's over.
That's right.
We're giving you all the stuff. And if you're not in favor of that, watch Phantasm.
No, watch The Haunting. That's a good, scary movie.
Decide for yourself. Well, and Phantasm.
I mean, assuming you don't want to sleep tonight, watch The Haunting.
if you do apparently want to laugh and sleep quite well, watch Phantasm.
There you go.
Or if you want to be confused.
And you will be confused.
No,
and don't confuse it with the remake.
No, the remake was awful.
That's terrible.
Owen Wilson getting his head smacked off by a pendulum. That was a terrible movie.
Oh, God. That's the one with Jeffrey Rush, right?
No, that was House on Haunted Hill.
House on Haunted Hill. I get
that was actually not half bad. The Haunting was the one with
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Catherine Zeta-Jones and I think Liam Neeson, maybe?
Yeah. They were they're so similar, those two. I don't know. They were out around the same time, and they were...
Except that House on Haunted Hill was halfway decent. And The Haunting...
I want to make something with Dr. Fu Manchu.
What was that?
I want to make something with Dr. Fu Manchu.
That would be a trick because, well, you'd have to resurrect Peter Sellers, right?
Well, no, you use somebody else, but he's a pretty scary villain.
I'm striking out all over the place tonight, man. I'm way off my game.
I've never seen a Fu Manchu movie. I've read the Sax Rohmer books, but I've never seen him on screen.
Those were scary for their time.
I'm sure they were. I'd have to check them out. The books were great. Never seen the movies.
Well, let's do this. I want to talk Paranormal Activity.
Okay.
Okay. Paranormal Activity, Fettuccine, or I'm sorry, Alfredo. Excuse me. Sorry,
Yeah, don't
I keep getting the names backwards. I'm sorry, I keep getting the names backwards. All right. Premise of the movie, right? Suburban homeowners. One's a day trader, so he's always home. The other one's a student. Male and female couple. They live together. They're having all these paranormal stuff is going on in their house. So the guy sets up a video camera every night and videotapes like everything. Okay, so it's like a rip-off of Blair Witch, basically.
Well, it's not a rip-off of Blair Witch.
The premise is that they found these tapes after this incident happened, yada, 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 mysterious activity, etc.
That's in no way a rip-off of Blair Witch. I'm sorry.
So it's an indoor Blair Witch.
That's not the same plot at all.
Okay, they're not a couple jackasses lost in the woods who can't figure out the sun rises in the east or follow a river to get to a town. But still,
found footage. It's Blair Witch is hardly the first movie to use found footage. What about The Last Broadcast?
But the whole thing is, the whole premise is it's lost footage of these people in peril by some supernatural force.
That's what I'm saying. Blair Witch is hardly the first movie to do that.
All right, but
I don't think you can use found footage as being.
All right, you would agree though that it's the same premise as Blair Witch?
No, not even a little bit. Okay. I 100,000% disagree.
Why am I doing this show? Okay, I think it's a similar. I took it as being a similar premise to Blair Witch. Okay,
it sounds like an indoor Blair Witch.
Basically, yes. And my problem with it is, you know, I appreciated the low budget. It was like a $10,000 budget to make this entire film, which was great. It was well done. The acting actually was really good, in spite of the fact it was all improv. And you could tell it was improv because they start talking about how they need to bring in this demonologist. They spend over half the movie talking about possibly calling this demonologist as more and more random, weird, creepy stuff, which most of the scares in the movie, most of the stuff happening is just loud sounds. Okay, a lot of banging going on.
That's what you do when you have no budget.
Right. And lights flickering. That's about it.
But tell me this. When you're at home at night, it's dark, there's no one around, and you hear loud noises, does that not frighten you?
No.
Never? You've never been spooked by loud noises in your house?
I mean, possibly,
because you're the only one.
Yeah, I mean,
if you didn't have a 140-pound dog.
I don't know, possibly, I guess. But okay, but my point is,
other than Rex.
Here's my point. It takes it out of the realm of being a believable, creepy, paranormal type movie where this weird stuff's happening when you start throwing out terms like demonologist. Because demonologist, I mean, that is a term that you're going to use in a cheesy horror movie. There's no such thing. I'm pretty sure that's not a real profession.
It actually is.
You've got to be kidding me.
I wish I was.
That is the stupidest real profession I have ever heard of.
You need to watch more Penn and Teller. No, it really, truly is.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so far off my game tonight. All right. Anyway, look, with all due respect to the demonologists out there, okay, Alfredo, I don't know.
There go our demonologist.
There you go. Alfredo, I don't know if you've worked as a demonologist, but if you have, it's a terrible profession. Come on. Give me a break, okay?
No, I know people
that's mentioned, well, once
I know
that's mentioned
people who
in the
are
film,
ghost
it takes
hunters.
away from, it just, well, Ghost Riders, that's one thing, but it takes away from...
He's got a point, though. What about, like, those Ghost Hunters TV shows? That's all they are, is they see themselves as demonologists or parapsychologists, or, I mean, those are real people. So why does that take away from it?
I think my silence on that is an indication of my feelings on people who claim to be ghost hunters.
I'm not saying I believe in them, but I'm saying that they're actually out there. And if you felt you were being haunted, you might want to give them a call.
If they're not wearing illegally obtained nuclear proton accelerator packs, I'm not interested. Yes, okay. You know what? If I ever have a situation where I'm being haunted, legitimately haunted, I've lived in a haunted house. I know ghosts are real, but if I'm ever in a situation where I feel that I'm being threatened by one, okay, first of all, I don't care if one person tells you that it doesn't matter if you leave, the ghost or whatever is going to follow you. Friggin' leave anyway. Take the chance. Make the ghost do a little bit of work and follow you and find you. Don't just stay in the same place like they do in Paranormal Activity.
That may
Idiots.
be, but you're going to call your demonologist. You're not going to call your chiropractor.
Well, that's just it. I would have called the demonologist the minute I got his friggin' phone number. I wouldn't have waited for the rest of the movie to go by. I would have been like, you know what, this is going to be a short film because I'm calling his ass 40 minutes in and we're getting this resolved.
See, I thought they sold that pretty well with Mika being, you know what, it's just, you know, the house settling. It's just noise. It's not. And, you know, he didn't believe in the whole...
Well, but, okay, and the other part of it is, you're in a relationship with a chick for 3 years, and this now, after she moves in and weird stuff starts happening in your house, That's when she decides it's time to mention, by the way, I've been haunted by a demon since I was 8.
And they got a new one now, too, right?
Yeah, they've got a sequel. How the hell are they making a sequel to it?
It's actually kind of a sidequel. It's not bad.
A sidequel.
A sidequel. It takes place a little bit of a prequel. It takes place a bit before this one.
Great. So this is the haunting that happened to this chick before the set.
Not exactly. It's a decent little flick, though.
All right. I personally did not care for Paranormal Activity. I thought the original ending, which I read about the original ending, I think the original ending is much more frightening.
The original ending's on the DVD. It's kind of crap.
Really?
Yeah, they made the right choice. It sounds good on paper. It didn't work well.
Didn't work well, no? Okay. Spielberg actually is the one that changed the ending.
Yeah, and he was right.
Hey, Alfredo, have you ever had anyone interrupt and change one of your endings to your films?
In case Spielberg...
No. Nobody watches my film, so it makes no difference.
There you go.
No one listens to our show.
And no one listens to our show either, so we got that. That's perfect. It's a symbiotic call. That's what it is. All right. So
I'm working on it. I'm working on a new one.
Here's what we're going to get to. And Alfredo, if you want to stay on the line, it is now time for one of our favorite segments, one of my favorite segments, one of our newest segments, but yet one of our most popular segments. We're about to do the Beans List. Oh, let me mention these real quick. Okay, real quick.
More movies from the Twitter.
More movies from. Did you just refer to it as the Twitter?
I did. I called it the Twitter.
All right then.
Because I'm Betty White.
Okay, so deep in your tonsils again. Funny Games and Dead Snow.
We were talking about Funny Games before the show started.
Right.
I've never seen the original Funny Games. I've only seen the remake.
The original
but it creeped me the hells out.
You will enjoy the original more. The original is one of, if not the scariest movie I've seen. Creepy as hell, will totally frighten you, makes you forget you're watching a film.
Yeah, the remake is much the same.
Dead Snow, that's a movie about Nazi zombies who were terrorizing some Germans. Watched about the first 5 minutes, and I was laughing so hard just because they're Germans, and I couldn't. I had to turn it off.
I haven't seen it yet, but I wanted to because it looked kind of like The Keep.
Yeah, some zombies.
Which is a great book and terrible movie.
All right. Robot Embassy mentions The Brood.
David Cronenberg, my actual favorite director.
And you're gonna get another one here. Ali Kins mentions Videodrome.
Videodrome, I love that movie.
Videodrome.
I also love
that.
If only because the case made it look like a Betamax cassette, which I just love.
That's fantastic. and Media Man mentions Saw. And the original Saw, an appropriately creepy good movie.
I'm actually a fan of the Saw movies. I gotta say, I saw the new one, the 3D one, which was
How did the girl from Scream Queens 2 perform?
Actually, the girl from Scream Queens 2 barely had anything to do. The one from the last
What a shocker.
The one from the last Scream Queens, she was actually in this one too. She had plenty to do, but the Scream Queens 2 girl, nothing.
I'm shocked, really. You win a reality show and they promise you a role on a movie, you'd think.
But I actually gotta give a shout out to a movie that by no right should have been good and that nobody saw, nobody bothered watching, which was Saw 6. The one before this 3D one.
Which was on the Beans List last week.
And was actually an incredibly well put together flick. It's timely because there's a whole lot of a lot of the healthcare issue kind of stuff going on in it, which you wouldn't expect out of a movie called Saw 6.
No, not at all.
But there's some actual political commentary going on in the flick, and it's also just got a genuinely good twist that you won't see coming.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
All right, so let's do this. We'll do the Beans List. Let's get into this, man, because this is going to be a good one.
Though, have you ever seen The Brood, since that's mentioned on this? I
don't believe so.
Robot Embassy mentioned?
I don't believe so.
Okay, you should not eat candy.
I'm eating a Snickers, I know.
Do not eat candy while we're doing the show. Hold
Sorry.
your candy till afterwards. You're spitting caramel on me.
You love it.
I do.
Spitting caramel. Hashtag spitting caramel.
I shouldn't enjoy that during the show.
Yet another great band name. Okay.
But The Brood is going to because I got to give David Cronenberg as many shout-outs as possible because I love that man. And The Brood creeped me the hells out when I was a kid. And Videodrome still creeps me out. The Fly is one of my all-time favorite movies. So, got to give the love to David Cronenberg.
There you go. And now I got one more. I got another. I'm getting handed a lot. We're getting a lot of Twitter activity tonight.
That's good. Tweet away.
Yep, but this one is not related to Halloween. It's PRD is mentioning the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show has cast day tomorrow. Is that right?
No, it's the last.
It's the last day tomorrow. That looks like a C. Tell me that doesn't look like a C.
I got to say, that looks like a C.
Tomorrow's the last day of Fort Lauderdale.
Alfredo hung up on us. He hung up on us. I guess he was getting al dente. I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
I couldn't tell either. All right. Well, hopefully he'll get back with us, or hopefully he's not upset with us. All right, let's do the Beans list. I want to get to the Beans list because this is a good one. This is we're ranking horror villains, right?
Yes.
Let's go for it.
I just want to know about the Titans of Terror. Who you think is who our audience of 12 thinks is.
Well, Lady Tinkerbell says she agrees about Saw 6. Just saw it this week. Was the best of the series so far.
Yeah, it was the best of the series, period, because the new one, not so great. I mean, it's fun. The 3D's neat, but the movie itself, little lackluster. You'll see the twist coming from frame 1. But anyway, I was thinking about, the horror heroes, the titans of horror. Your Jason, your Freddy, your Michael, your Blackula.
Blackula.
You got a problem with Blackula?
Your teenage werewolf. No, I have no problem with Blackula.
I mean,
I could say I have a problem with Blackula. He bites, but that's just a terrible joke.
That's a terrible joke. Eat your Snickers.
That's the worst joke.
That's an awful joke.
I'm going to have a Twix while you discuss this. Go for it. Throw it out there. I'm going to enjoy this treat now.
It's just, as a horror fan, it's one of those questions you hear all the time, who would win? That's what gave us Freddy versus Jason. But I'm not really thinking about who's stronger, who's going to win, Freddy, Jason, Michael, but who's scariest? What makes them scary? Because, Freddy is my personal favorite. I'm going to tell you right now I'm biased. The remake was awful, but I love the character of Freddy Krueger. There's a picture of him in the studio right now. I'm a big Freddy fan because I like what Wes Craven created. I like the idea of if you fall asleep, there is no escaping this dude, and everybody's got to fall asleep. And I like that he has a little bit of personality. He talks, which most of the others don't. He's not the most pleasant-looking fellow, so that's got some scare value in and of itself. When I first got a poster of him when I was about 11, around when Nightmare 2 came out, I put it up in my room, had to pretend to be brave, and I was too scared to sleep that first night because
Nice.
Freddy was glaring at me, but I had wanted the poster so badly I couldn't take it down and be like, oh yeah, I can do this. So it took a couple of days before I got used to living with Freddy. So he's my personal choice for the scariest of the horror honchos.
Okay.
But he also became a joke by the sequels.
Right.
When he basically became the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, he got too humorous. So we got, all right, real quick, we've got Freddy, we got Jason, we got Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Those are your kind of holy trinity, right?
Right, and I think it would be wrong not to throw in Jigsaw from the Saw movie.
We got to. We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
All right. I think Pinhead is in there as well. He's a bad dude. You don't want to mess with that guy.
Pinhead is a bad dude.
And there's been sequels to you have to have some sequel. You have to be either really iconic or have some sequels to kind of carry you through. The Tall Man, we can put the Tall Man on there.
Tall Man can go in there. I don't know if Hannibal Lecter belongs, but I like the thought of it because he is a very creepy character. But I don't know if he belongs.
I don't think he does.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't think he does. I feel like these are really just more identifiable as being, your typical sort of psycho horror film.
And speaking of psycho, I got to throw the granddaddy of them all in there, Norman Bates.
Norman Bates, right?
And of course his lovely mother.
Okay. You know what? We can include Hannibal Lecter. Why not?
Why not?
It's a horror show.
If you don't include him, he's just going to eat your liver anyway.
Right. Well, and there's a lot of good art because he is a very classic, creepy. First of all, nobody's going to win an Academy Award, I'm pretty sure, for playing Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Jigsaw, Pinhead, the Tall Man, or Norman Bates. Yet.
Well, Norman Bates, it was possible.
Well, possibly in the original Psycho, but
and the
not
guy
without Alfred
Freddy,
Hitchcock directing.
And the guy who played Freddy in the remake is, in fact, an Academy Award nominee.
Yes, that's right, Jackie Earle. And in fact, also played the original Kelly Leak in the original Bad News Bears.
That is true.
He hit 826 that year. Rode a dirt bike, and he beat Tatum O'Neal at the air hockey.
That he did.
Yep, all right. And then as an adult, it's funny because in that movie he was like the coolest, toughest, baddest kid.
And now he's 3'2".
And he grew up to be all of 5'4", and that's a shame for Kelly Leak. Okay, yeah. So let's keep adding to the list. First of all, if you want to add to this list, 347-326-9700, or you can do the Twitter thing, which seems to be the real popular way to go.
We're blowing up on the Twitter.
We are at Frank the Unicorn on Twitter and show at franktheunicorn.com.
And tell us who we're missing. I'm sure there's other titans of terror out there.
I can throw a few out there. First of all, our good friend the Leprechaun.
Really?
He's a leprechaun.
Well, I guess if we're not ruling out short people, we got to throw Chucky in there.
Chucky, you're right. I was going to say Chucky.
Little Mr. Charles Lee Ray.
Right. All right, so we got the Leprechaun, we got Chucky. Who else?
That's pretty much what
Really?
we got.
You're going to miss out on Leatherface, man?
You know, I try to forget about the sequel, so yeah, I am.
I mean, but
Big
the
fan of the original Texas
yeah,
Chainsaw, but
it's so
I
horrifying.
feel he was made into more of a joke than any of the others.
All right.
Sorry, as much as I...
3 votes for Pinhead.
Much as
3 votes for Pinhead already.
Wow. Much as I love David J. Shaw, I absolutely hated Texas Chainsaw 3, and it...
Let me ask you this.
Would you put Candyman on the list?
I would. That's a terrible... my Tony Todd's awful.
Your Tony Todd is awful. But yeah, even though the sequels were both terrible, I got to give Candyman some love.
Again, because the original Candyman's so creepy.
That is a scary, scary movie, and also very creepy music.
And
glass.
Yes, and very, very well
creepy.
done. All right, it's the Koyana Squatty of horror movies.
I did forget about Leatherface, and I feel bad about that. My apologies to Gunnar Hansen and to no one else who ever played him. Except Andrew Braniarski, because I still like him despite the fact that those movies suck.
All right. So we've got Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Jigsaw, Pinhead, the Tall Man, Norman Bates, Hannibal Lecter, Leprechaun, Chucky, Leatherface, Candyman.
Once again, Deep in Your Tonsils comes to our rescue.
With?
You know who we're forgetting?
Who are we forgetting?
You know who we're forgetting?
The dentist?
We are. Corbin Burnson as the dentist.
Are you serious? Did I actually get that right?
You did.
Wow. That is frightening.
And he is a scary dude.
You know who else? The Ice Cream Man, Clint Howard. How can we forget
But
Clint
he had
Howard?
no sequels.
He did not have sequels.
What about
You're
Jack
right.
Frost?
He is icing and slicing.
The Killer Mutant Snowman. But one thing I got to say, I'm surprised that of the 3 votes we got so far, that they're for Pinhead. Because as incredibly creepy a visual as he is, he's never had anything to do in those movies. He says 3 lines and walks away.
That's true.
He never
That's
really...
true.
I mean, anything that happens to people in those movies, they do to themselves. Pinhead's just kind of there, leading them on.
Well, he does cause all the hallucinations, weird dreams, the problems that lead you to do these things to yourself. It's not like he's not influencing them. It's not like he has nothing at all to do with it.
It's not hallucinations or anything. I mean, they play with this puzzle box.
Yes.
They inadvertently open the gate to hell.
Yep.
And he's there saying, yo, what up? Welcome to hell. He's just sort of...
And then he makes them go so nuts by seeing him in his very presence and all the various things and machinations and
That's
things.
not just him. I mean, there's a bunch of Cenobites. And there's that little chattery guy. There's the big butterball dude. There's the guy with the CD in his face.
You're getting an education on Hellraiser. Who knew Hellraiser would be the most popular one? Are we missing anyone else? We've got... I think
Hellraiser probably also had the worst sequels of all these.
Probably.
movies.
But the original Hellraiser was so creepy. And
the first one was great, and the second one I actually liked a lot. But after that, when they started going direct-to-video after the 4th one, what they did was they took scripts for other movies and said, well, we got to make some money at this somehow.
Let's make it a Hellraiser
Dimension
movie.
Films, in their infinite wisdom, said, let's make this a Hellraiser movie. And they would throw in Pinhead. Like in Hellraiser 5, I swear to you, Pinhead's in 2 scenes. And the whole rest of the movie, like, there's a puzzle box, but it has nothing to do with what you'd expect from that.
In general, sequels after the 4th movie,
but
usually not very good.
But then you get your Saw 6, or your Friday the 13th 6.
Or your Friday the 13th Part 8.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry, 7.
But
or your Jason X.
Sometimes you'll be pleasantly surprised. You know who else we're forgetting? I don't know if he really counts because he's been different people in each movie, but Ghostface of the Scream movies.
I think Ghostface definitely, because it's
an iconic face and it can be scary.
And there's a new one coming out.
There is.
Scream 4 is coming
April
out.
15th.
Wow.
Tax day.
That's such a bad time to release a horror movie.
Do your taxes and get stabbed. I'm surprised they didn't rush it out quicker due to the whole David Arquette, Courtney Cox Arquette, David Cox Arquette thing.
You would think, and especially around Halloween, because, those movies are pretty, The first one, though, came out in December, which was weird. They released the original Scream was out in December, because it came out the same weekend as Beavis and Butthead Do America, and December 20th, 1996.
And it was a true word-of-mouth hit, because no one expected it to be anything. And then it got bigger and bigger every week. It was, by its 3rd week is when it hit number 1. It was really surprising.
It was surprising, but it wasn't, because it was actually a very good movie.
It was great.
It was a good horror movie, which frankly had been lacking. There had been a real lack of good horror movies up to that point. You know,
Second one's pretty decent too, which is impressive since they churned it out less than a year later.
That's true. And now Part 3 was not.
Part 3 is horrible. Part 3,
just not good.
Scream 3. For those of you who haven't seen it, if you want to recreate the Scream 3 experience in your own home, which I recommend you do, here's what you do: you get yourself an episode of Scooby-Doo. You turn out all the lights. And
I would have gotten away with it. It worked for you meddling kids.
And that's it. That's all you have to do.
That's it.
Because Scream 3 is an episode.
It's an episode of Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. There's one moment where they're going through Lance Henriksen's house, and there's all these hidden passageways and such. And I kept waiting for all the lights to go out, and you just see their eyeballs bouncing around, like on Scooby-Doo.
Jinkies!
That's all it was.
Lance Henriksen's house is a pretty spooky place to be, Scoob.
Lady Tinkerbell suggests Candyman, which we put on the list, and he is a scary dude. Mommy Lovebee suggested Jack
Torrance in The Shining. Again, no sequels.
No sequels, but definitely an iconic character. I mean, everyone knows Here's Johnny, whether or not they've seen the movie.
True, but you're not afraid of Jack Torrance
really?
Suddenly.
Because I am.
Okay, I'm saying that
if Jack Nicholson walked in this room right now, I'd pee.
And you know what? That would get you an X rating from the MPAA, which happened to Phantasm. Here's the thing, which is weird. All the other stuff in Phantasm, fine. They got an X rating for the original cut of the movie because when the first guy dies from the ball drilling out his head,
he pees.
He urinates.
Yeah.
Which I thought was an amazing touch because that's what happens when people really die. So I thought, wow, that's some real authenticity there. No, MPAA didn't like that. They pulled some strings. They got an R rating anyway. They left it in the cut. But.
And what you want in your other dimensional, otherworldly mortician killing people with flying silver balls movie, authenticity.
Of course.
That's what you're looking
with your
for.
Portal, with your dwarf zombies and your portal to another dimension full of dwarf zombie slaves. Well, whatever. All right. Yeah, who are we leaving out of this? I mean, I guess we could put the Wicker Man on the list, but that doesn't.
No, we can't.
How about we couldn't put Pumpkinhead on there, right?
Can we put Nicolas Cage's performance in Wicker Man as the scariest thing in movie history?
It's possible. So yeah, we're not gonna put them on. All right.
Well, what we want to know is who scares you.
What about? Are we gonna put our classics on there? Are we gonna put on our classics?
Your Dracula,
your Frankenstein,
your Blackula,
your
Blackenstein, your Hunchback from Notre Dame, your Lunch Black from Blowtrap Lane.
I'm going to try to speak again. All right, your Creature from the Black Lagoon.
See?
Your Wolfman, your Mummy, right?
No, we're not.
Your Blob.
We're not, and I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Because
now they're just campy. They're not actually scary.
No, I mean, they can be if they're done right. They haven't been in many years. The Blob, though, actually always scared me. The remake was actually pretty darn good.
The Frank Langella Dracula movie was pretty darn good, I thought. Now, again, I haven't seen it in a really, really long time.
But I was thinking more along the lines of just, your modern day, monster movies. Because these are our generation's Dracula,
your slasher types.
And Wolfman. They don't have to be slasher types because the ones on our list aren't all slasher types. Well, I guess they probably are.
No, for the most part they are, but Hannibal Lecter's not really a slasher type killer.
Well, tell it to that guy who stabbed in the leg in that second movie.
Okay, all right. Candyman.
Killed him by stabbing him in the leg. That's always important.
What about the Gordon's Fisherman from I Know What You Did Last Summer?
No, just because those movies are all terrible.
They are terrible.
There's nothing good in those movies.
I don't know. Jennifer Love Hewitt.
There's nothing good in those movies.
Okay.
Even the titles are stupid.
The titles.
I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Really? Because it's 2 years later.
2 years later. So I know what you did 2 summers ago. Right. I know what you did.
That summer thing. Still knowing it. My God.
Well, and you didn't go to camp.
I mean, come on, Jack Black. No. Sorry, no.
Although they did give, you talk about an easy, fun title to make into an adult film. I Know Who You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
I Still Know Who You Did Last Summer. I Know Who Else You Did Last Summer.
Nice.
That's what it should have been. I know what else you did that summer.
I refuse to include that because that movie didn't scare anybody.
No?
No.
Okay. All right, so we're not going to include that one.
But I was looking more towards the modern generation of horror heroes, not away from the classical Dracula, Frankenstein. Besides, like I said before, Blackula always wins when you put those guys in there. Oh, good one. PR Diva Rage suggests Pennywise the Clown from It.
Okay, I mean, I guess. To me, it's still just a clown.
But an iconic, scary dude. That's not just any clown. That's Tim Curry under there.
What?
Yeah,
it sure was.
No way.
Oh, indeed.
Way.
Had no idea.
Yep,
Our
sure
producer
thing.
had no idea that
Yeah.
was Tim Curry. You know why? Because no one knew Tim Curry could be terrifying. But he can.
Well, he was
Annie?
Frankenfurter.
No,
That was pretty scary.
that was.
It wasn't really. All right. No, I don't know, man. I mean, I know your preference is Freddy.
I'm a Freddy guy. Freddy, the whole idea of Freddy scares me.
Okay. I think Freddy's got probably one of the more frightening premises, the fact that he can kill you anywhere at any time.
You can't lock him out.
They've done too much. Jason's become too much of a joke because they've done too many things to him. It's just been too ridiculous the way that...
They tried bringing him back. I mean, the remake, while not a great flick, I mean, there's some scary Jason moments. He's a badass in the remake. For those of you who haven't seen the remake of Friday the 13th, they turned Jason into like just a big monster survivalist. And he is harsh.
He's not a little boy who drowned in Crystal Lake and
He
then
is
grew
not-
up deformed and decided to hack people apart.
He is, but he's grown up in the woods by himself, and he's a survivalist. He's a hunter, and he's plenty scary.
He's eating kids now?
He might as well be. He's played by Derek Mears, who is possibly the nicest gentleman in Hollywood, and also a giant, scary mofo. If Derek Mears walked into this room right now, Jack Nicholson would pee himself, assuming Nicholson was also in the room. He's a very, very scary-looking dude. He's a comedian, which is I find very funny, and he's a nice guy. But he's just
that is one of the things that always that's one of the things that separated out Jason for me was that he didn't do the one-liners, he didn't crack jokes, he didn't talk, he never said a word. He doesn't have any speaking lines.
He grunts
in any
a
film
in the remake
every now and again, but same thing with Michael Myers because he's just a silent killer. He's not he's not taunting you.
He speaks in the Rob Zombie nonsense.
Well, that you just said it yourself. Nonsense.
Yeah.
Absolute nonsense. I can't watch those.
Okay, we're getting some more deep in your tonsils.
All right.
Gives us the Reaper from Jeepers Creepers. Was that the creature's name in Jeepers Creepers?
I'm going to take that as that
I don't
was.
remember.
Justin Long was in the original Jeepers Creepers.
He was.
And
a bunch of shirtless boys were in the second one. Thank you, Victor Salva.
There you go. You got to love Victor Salva.
Yeah, you sure don't.
Yeah, no, you don't.
If you do, you're probably 12.
Or Powder, right? He did Powder. We won't talk about that. Powder!
At Robot Embassy gives us Puppet Master, which there were some creepy-looking puppets, but I don't remember them being terribly scary.
No, and wasn't his name Toulon? Was the name of the
Toulon
puppet?
was the puppet
master,
guy who
right?
created them, yeah. And Lovely Lady 14 gives us Sadako from The Ring. I'll give you that. That's some scary stuff.
Okay, we'll put her on the list.
If she crawled out of my laptop right now, I'd be very worried.
I would, you know what? I would pee on Jack Nicholson if she crawled out of your laptop.
You would.
Yep, I totally.
I mean, you would do that anyway.
I urinate.
You're into that, which is weird.
No, not at all.
That's very weird.
Not at all. Okay, so we got our local music segment coming up in a minute here. In a couple minutes actually, but we got that coming up. So, and then what we're going to do is on the other side of that, we're going to get into the bacon, and then we're going to talk about our famous actor, and we're going to take our unicorn quiz. We're going to find out how unicorn everybody is. I'm expecting, hopefully Jack calls in. I think he was going to call in actually to talk a little bit about the song we're going to play, and I'm excited to have him on. He's had some really good success. He's got an EP. You can check him out at jacklicata.com, and he's got some upcoming shows as well. The first upcoming show is actually this week, November 3rd. That's the Dubliner in Meisner Park. That starts at 9 p.m. That's a 21 and up show. Next show, he's got another show this week, World of Beer in Coconut Creek, November 6th, 9 p.m., which if you haven't been to World of Beer, you should go there anyway, and definitely go and check out Jack because great music, World of Beer, fantastic place. You can try to drink the Le Fin du Monde. You can try to drink the big Le Fin du Monde and challenge Frank the Unicorn to see, can you consume the entire thing? I myself can.
Does that mean the end of the world?
It does. It's a beer that means the end. It's a beer called the end of the world. That's right, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Is that right out of that Cigarette Burns movie?
No, it's a French Canadian beer actually. Believe it or not, it's really really good.
I just wanted to give a shout out to an episode of Masters of Horror.
Well, there you go. All right, and then he's also playing at the Cranberry Jam, Parrot Lounge, and that's November 24th at 6 p.m. That's the day before Thanksgiving, so there's no reason not to go to that. He's actually calling in. Let's take him. Jack.
Yo.
Oh, hey, bud. Can you do me a favor? Just turn down your computer just a little bit. We're hearing you on the broadcast from here.
All right, cool. I didn't know you picked up.
Yeah, no, we just picked you up actually. So ladies and gentlemen, Jack Licata, our local music segment guest.
Hello, sir.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey, Jack, thanks for calling in, man. Appreciate you being with us this week.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
And I was just mentioning you got some shows coming up. We were just talking. You've got the show at the Dubliner on the 3rd.
Yeah, that's it's a solo acoustic gig. I'm going to be playing covers there from 9 to 1. It's a good time. Actually, we're trying to get the band Audio Heist in there, so we might do a little impromptu audition. So a acoustic set may turn into a full-blown show.
Nice. That'll be cool to check out. And that's this week. That's coming up this week. That's November 3rd.
That's Wednesday, yeah.
Okay, and then so now you've also got World of Beer as well. So if you can't make it out to Boca, come out to Coconut Creek. That's November 6th.
Yeah, we play there the first Saturday every month, and it looks like that's going to continue into next year. So we're going to be there for a while. We always have fun when we play there, and I think if everybody came out, they'd have a good time too.
Awesome. And then the next show coming up after that, the Cranberry Jam, 17th Annual Cranberry Jam, Parrot Lounge, and that's in Fort Lauderdale. That's the day before Thanksgiving, correct?
The biggest drinking holiday of the year.
So no reason anyone shouldn't come out. It's not like anyone's going to work on Thanksgiving.
No.
Right? Most people aren't going to work on Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving is the biggest drinking holiday.
To see everyone there.
Why not? I know a lot of people that really like
Patrick's Day.
Well, okay, maybe, but the biggest drinking day before a holiday, let's say that.
That I can see.
Right?
I'm going on vacation.
Unless you're counting New Year's Day as a holiday, which really, let's face it, New Year's Eve is the holiday. So yeah. I would agree with that. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving is a great time for people to go out and enjoy themselves, have a good time, have a few drinks. Of course, be safe with a designated driver.
Of course.
But you definitely want to go out and check out. There's no reason not to check out that concert.
No, there's going to be a DJ there. It starts early, 6. So even if you got early Thanksgiving family plans, I mean, you can be in bed by midnight and function on the next day.
Perfect. All right, so we're going to play a track now called Angel. You want to set this up for us?
Yeah, this is it's actually my favorite song off the EP. It was a lot of fun to sing, a lot of fun to write, and a lot of fun to record. I did it out in Los Angeles with a buddy of mine named Brandon Slavinsky. He runs Red Letter Box Studios. You should definitely check out his music and some of his other art. He's a really talented guy. He makes me sound a lot better than I really do. Can't thank him enough.
All right. Well, I think you may be being a little bit too humble on that one because I've listened to the track. I like it. I'm excited to play it. And again, Jack, I can't thank you enough for calling in and being part of the show. Just want to mention again the website, jacklicata.com. It's Licata, right? Jack, Licata.com. And you got links to. We're going to put up the links to the EP where people will be able to actually go and listen to this entire EP. Which if they want to buy a copy, and really, folks, you got to buy a copy if you're gonna listen to this music if you like it, because you want to continue to support local music and local artistry. So you can do that at any one of your shows, correct? They can always pick up the EP at any of the shows.
Yeah, of course, I got them with me.
Okay, awesome. All right, cool. So Jack, any final stuff you want to throw in real quick before we play the track?
No, a little fun fact. I heard you guys talking about horror movie villains and whatnot beforehand, and I just wanted to share that I'm related to the original Dracula.
Oh, wow. Vlad the Impaler.
Well, no, the actor.
Oh, Bela Lugosi. All right. Well, the original Dracula, you could go either way on that, either the actor or the dude.
Well, his name was Jack Palance, but I think I'm going to start telling people I'm related to Vlad the Impaler instead.
Did you say Jack Palance?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty awesome, man. I love Jack Palance.
That is pretty awesome.
Doing one-arm push-ups.
Scary dude.
You talk about a real scary dude. Actually, I would take Jack Palance over any one of these fictional characters in a fight. Jack Palance could take out any one of these guys.
He used to be a professional boxer, too.
It's true. What's that, Jack?
He used to be a professional boxer.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you know what? You know what? We should do next week. We should have Palance as our actor next week, as our famous actor.
But people know Jack Palance.
They do, but a lot of people know him only for.
A lot of people didn't know he played Dracula.
That's true, and they know him mostly for City Slickers and for Tango and Cash. So and being in Batman, the Michael Keaton Batman. So we should probably talk about, because he's done a lot of films.
He has.
And he's done an underrated comedy with Chevy Chase called Cops and Robertsons, which I actually enjoyed.
I've seen that. I love the thumb cups.
I thought it was good.
Okay.
I like it. All right. Cool. Well, Jack, man, again, I thank you very, very much. And we're going to play the track now. So this is Jack Licata. This song is called Angel. And you should definitely go and check out this track, but then also go this week, check Jack out either at on the 3rd in Meisner Park at the Dubliner, or at the World of Beer on the 6th at 9 o'clock. Jack, thank you so much.
No problem, man. Come on out to one of the shows. I'll buy you a beer.
I'll be there. We'll figure one of these out and we'll get out there.
All right, man. Take care.
Awesome. Thank you.
Peace.
All right, guys. So here we go. Jack Licata with Angel.
Something pretty, but I can't remember. So she might as well introduce herself as scandalous. Just when she said I'd be safe from all the games. That's why I'm on every game played. An alibi, just disguises and excuses. Can you do no wrong? In my eyes, it's over and it's through, then I'm done with you. Can't you see that this is killing me? Is it you or just my mind that's turning tricks on me? But I can't seem to hate you, no matter how I try. 'Cause you'll always be an angel in my eyes. So let it be that I'm done with you. Deception was always the weapon of choice, but you just made it scream till you lose your voice. She'll make it seem chrome. Oh, but you wanna move, not after too long. In my eyes, it's over and it's through, then I'm done with you. It's over and it's through, and then I'm done with you. Can't you see that this is killing me? Is it you or just my mind that's turning tricks on me? But I can't seem to hate you, no matter how I try. 'Cause you'll always be an angel in my eyes. With all these games we play, things will never change. Throw it all away, but you'll always be an angel in my eyes. Can't you see that this is killing me? Is it you or just my mind that's turning tricks on me? But I can't seem to hate you, no matter how I try. 'Cause you'll always be an angel in my
We were just, all right, that's Angel from Jack Licata, jacklicata.com. He's our local music guest this week, and we really appreciate him sending us that track and calling in. He's got an upcoming show November 3rd at the Dubliner, 9 p.m., and then World of Beer, Coconut Creek, November 6th, 9 p.m., and then the 17th Annual Cranberry Jam at Parrot Lounge in Fort Lauderdale, November 24th at 6 p.m. That's the day before Thanksgiving. So we want to thank Jack for sending us the music, and we certainly want folks to go out there, check it out. They've got a great EP as well that you can pick up out there. So really, really appreciate Jack calling into the show and letting us letting us play that track. And
also,
it's cool that he's related to Jack Palance. That's really awesome.
That's very cool. And also, cranberry jam sounds delicious.
It does sound delicious.
I just got to throw that out there.
All right, so we're back, okay? And believe it or not, this show is this is amazing because it's such an open-ended show today. We have so much stuff going on. We got pumpkin cookies. It looks like homemade pumpkin cookies, Halloween cookies, tempting me in the studio, okay? I've been eating candy.
The listeners need more of you talking with your mouth full.
Of course they do. They need me to mumble. I've been eating candy. I've been drinking. I mean, you can hear it. It's been it's been open-ended. We've been off the rails, whatever. We're perfectly on time. We're perfectly on time for the only time in the history of this show we are, that's right, with the hand and everything. We're perfectly on time for where we're supposed to be on the timeline. I'm very impressed by this.
I'm impressed by you.
You know what? It's fitting because it's scary and it's Halloween.
It is scary.
All right. That means it's time for This Week in Bacon.
This Week in Bacon.
That's right. So, of course, it's Halloween. We've got to highlight a bacon costume.
We do.
We do. There's a bacon costume available on Amazon, actually.
Is it edible?
It's not edible.
Then forget it.
But it's a costume that one would wear. It's bacon and eggs. So you get the bacon costume and then the egg, and so one person dresses up as bacon, the other dresses up as eggs. You go as breakfast.
Which goes first, the bacon or the egg?
I think the bacon. Because bacon is number one. All others, number two or below, including eggs.
And the chicken doesn't even bother showing up.
There's no point. The chicken's thankful to the pig.
What?
I don't even know. I don't even know. All right, that's going to be the quote of the week. The chicken is thankful to the pig.
I don't think it is.
Why
did
you know what
the week never make any sense at all?
That sounds like something that would be said in a very bad spy movie. Do you have the package? The chicken is mindful of the pig. The chicken is thankful of the pig.
Sounds like something that would be said in a in a Tommy Wiseau movie.
We just got a tweet in. I just got handed actually a note. Best bacon costume ever, Omeletteville. I would agree with that. You've seen Omeletteville, right?
Oh, the
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
That is a pretty good one. Chris Parnell actually is the one wearing the bacon. He's wearing the bacon, which okay, that works. He's wearing bacon and eggs actually, and then Timberlake is just dressed up as an omelet.
Indeed,
which is pretty funny. I mean,
that is good stuff.
It is. So yeah, we have a bacon costume. Now, one of the things I wanted to do for This Week in Bacon was I thought, because bacon is a very male-oriented subject, very male-oriented phenomenon.
Women don't like bacon?
Well, they do, but not to the level that men do. Okay.
You're hanging out with the wrong women.
If there were designer bacon that women could purchase to make them feel better about themselves or make them feel better, make them feel as if they have some advantage over their girlfriends.
Kate Spade hasn't made bacon yet?
Right. There's no Kate Spade bacon. There's no Manolo Blahnik bacon. There's no Gucci bacon or Prada bacon. If there were, women would be far more into bacon. But men are as a rule, more into bacon than women are, partially because women are a little bit usually more concerned about their health and all of the negativity that goes along with eating bacon. They don't want to get into that whole...
Wait, there's negativity?
Well, just in terms of it being unhealthy with all the sodium and the fat. It is absolutely delicious.
Nobody cares about the sodium and the
fat. In order to help focus or bring a little bit of a feminine aspect, a little more femininity to our This Week in Bacon segment.
Feminine bacon. That's
feminine
my
bacon.
Band.
Hashtag feminine bacon. Okay. So to bring it home for the ladies, basically, to tie in...
For the ladies. Like Angus Scrim.
With the lady. That's right. So to tie in bacon and the ladies, to bacon and ladies, that's another good one. Bacon and ladies. Hashtag bacon and ladies. So to add a little feminine element to our This Week in Bacon segment, I thought, let me go out, let me find something that universally women love. Okay, well, we already had bacon shoes on. That's out. Plus, bacon shoes, they don't have high heels. Women aren't into it. Okay, so.
My bacon shoes do.
Your bacon shoes have high heels. That's great.
They're made of Gene Simmons heels.
They're made of sausage. The heels are made of sausage. All right, so here's the thing, all right? I thought
the rest of me is.
I thought I'll bring in, that's nice. That's why you're so tasty. Okay, I'm just going to lick your sweat. It's delicious. So.
And you went
Here you go.
Far.
Okay. We just lost
what's that
every
line
listener.
back there?
All right. Beep. All right. The whole show just flatlined. Okay, so I'm trying to get on this point. I've been making the same point for like 5 minutes about bacon. Bringing the ladies in. I thought, let's find a Hello Kitty related bacon product.
There's got to be something.
One might think. You would think. However, Hello Kitty is not a bacon product. Hello Kitty is 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 a bacon produ as I also found I've now come up with two things. I've discovered two amazing things. One, the only thing that you cannot find to purchase on eBay. The only thing I've ever looked on eBay for and not been able to buy, chicken wire. Don't ask why I needed to buy chicken wire. It's a whole story. The other thing,
all right, MacGyver.
There is no Hello Kitty related, or there's no bacon related Hello Kitty product. There's no Hello Kitty bacon cooker. There's no Hello Kitty bacon bits. There's no Hello Kitty bacon anything. The only thing that Hello Kitty, the only product, the only thing that is not associated, that they don't have a product associated with Hello Kitty, bacon.
I don't think that's possible.
You would think that I guarantee you, doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. They have Hello Kitty assault rifles. They have Hello Kitty bullets. They have Hello Kitty sex toys. They have Hello Kitty tampons. They have Hello Kitty vitamins. They have Hello Kitty vaccinations.
They sell all these things in the same box?
No, they don't. Thankfully, they don't have. They maybe should. They don't have Hello Kitty bacon anything. There's nothing related. No Hello Kitty bacon tongs. No Hello Kitty bacon fun. Nothing. None. Zero.
What would Hello Kitty bacon fun
I don't
be?
know, but Hello Kitty bacon fun sounds like another great band name. Hashtag Hello Kitty bacon fun. Hello Kitty bacon fun. I mean, nothing. They should make that product, by the way, but they won't. But there's no Hello Kitty bacon anything. You would think there'd be something. There's nothing. Nothing. It's amazing that the two huge phenomena right now that are on the internet, okay, bacon and Hello Kitty products, there's no genesis. There's no meeting of the two. There's no combination of the two. Shocking. Shocking news. But we discovered that today. I discovered that as I was looking around trying to find some sort of Hello Kitty bacon-related product. You can look all you want. You can check the iPhone. You won't find it.
As we speak, I'm going to an authority. A friend of mine who has several Hello Kitty tattoos and is the world's biggest Hello Kitty freak and knows absolutely...
Has the assault rifle, the bullets, the tampons, and the vaccination.
She actually does have the Hello Kitty gun.
That's great.
It's a handgun, not the assault rifle, but she really, truly does. And she knows every single Hello Kitty item out there. And if anyone can find you something Hello Kitty bacon related, it's going to be this lady. My money's on this.
All right. Now, if you know of a Hello Kitty bacon related product, 347-326-9700, twitter.com at Frank the Unicorn. I will say this. I wouldn't want to be the guy going into combat with the Hello Kitty handgun or the Hello Kitty machine gun or assault gun. And I'm sure that at one point there's been at least one conversation that went something like this. Ha, 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 that gun has Hello Kitty on it. Ha, 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 this gun will kill you just as well as a gun that doesn't have Hello Kitty on it. It just won't be as cute.
It won't be as cute.
All right. So, yeah, there you go. 347-326-9700. You got a response back. What does she say?
She said she will try.
She will try. I guarantee you, nothing.
She will succeed.
Nothing. There's no Hello Kitty bacon-related product. It doesn't exist.
I have nothing but faith in her.
Doesn't exist. And if it did, do you know who'd be all up on that? Should I tell you?
Who's that?
That's a Hello Kitty handgun, my friend. That would be Angus Scrim.
Indeed, he would.
That's nice.
The ladies love
Hello Kitty exhaust on your car. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna get to it's the actor you know, but don't know, but you probably do know this actor if you know him at all. It's Angus Scrim, who played most famous for playing the Tall Man, right?
And he is 6'4", which is pretty darn tall.
6'4", although well-known fact about Phantasm, they actually put him in suits that were several sizes too small, and they put him in giant heels and put 3-inch lifts in his shoes, so he appeared to be much, much taller than he actually was. So really good job of directing him by Don Corsorelli. Okay, yeah, we see there's I Heart Bacon panties, but they're not Hello Kitty related.
No, people are talking about feminine bacon.
Oh, feminine bacon now? Okay, well that's...
But there's actually...
Oh, there's a bacon feminine hygiene product, let's say.
Let's
leave it at that.
You've been tweeted that 3 times.
Thanks, Be a Bunny. We've been tweeted that 3 times. That's good to know what everyone...
3 tweets on bacon feminine hygiene.
Bacon feminine products.
All right,
okay.
back to Angus Scrim.
Yeah, back to Angus Scrim.
Who I'm sure loves being coupled with bacon feminine hygiene.
Yeah, I'm sure. That boy! Lawrence Rory Guy is his actual name.
What is his actual name?
Lawrence Rory Guy.
That's awesome.
Larry Guy. Angus Scrim. Larry Guy. A scrim is a type of curtain. It's a curtain that's used in theater, so that's kind of where he took that
And an
from.
Angus is a type of beef.
That's
and
right.
He's a large hunk of meat.
I'm just having a moment of silence for that one, so I'm not saying anything for a little bit. All right. He actually has been nominated for several Grammy Awards. He won a Grammy Award. Get this, okay? The guy that played the tall man, the scary tall man in Phantasm, won a Grammy Award for Best Album Notes, Classical. One for his notes on Korngold, the classic Eric Wolfgang Korngold in 1974.
So he does album notes?
He does liner notes. He writes liner notes for albums. That's what
awesome.
he did. That's what he did before being an actor, and still, has been doing that since being an actor and whatnot. Yeah, so that's pretty incredible. And he's done quite a few liner notes. He's done a lot of liner notes for a lot of people. He worked for Capitol Records for 9 years. He wrote liner notes for Nat King Cole, Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, Dean Martin, Judy Garland, Liza Minnelli.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's one of those cool facts. One of the reasons I wanted to have Angus Scrim as our actor you know but don't know, because
turns out I didn't know him, and I've met the man.
You've met him and you didn't know this stuff.
I have met him and I did not know that.
You know what he says his greatest compliment that he ever received was a fan saying to him, "You should have played Emperor Palpatine in the Star Wars movies."
The fan was right. He should have.
He should have. Man,
and
that
that
would have been
fan
awesome.
was not me.
That fan should have been you.
Wasn't me.
Didn't think of it at the time.
Didn't.
How old were you though when you met him? You were probably pretty
15.
young. You were 15. So you were.
I was 15 when I met him. I don't think Emperor Palpatine had happened yet. I don't think he was. Maybe in Jedi, but
83.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I guess technically he was in Empire for like a brief second of a hologram, but that didn't really.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, not really a Star Wars.
Do not admit that. If we're a couple of dorks,
I can admit.
First of all, I'm a huge Star Wars guy. I am. I'm a huge Star Wars guy. But dude, trust me. Okay. If we're doing a show where we're the dorks who are telling people about bad films and pop culture and all that, we cannot admit to not.
Oh no, I'm not saying anything bad about Star Wars. I loved Star Wars.
You're right. You're not saying anything bad about Star Wars, because if you do, I'll turn into Seagal, break your arm, and throw you out the window, unless it's some sort of vague insult or direct insult to Jar Jar Binks, in which case it's fine.
Star Wars, one of the best movies ever. Period. No arguing that.
Freddy should kill Jar Jar Binks in his sleep. Just cut his.
Empire Strikes Back. Fantastic movie. Love it. Not a huge fan of Jedi, but I dig it. I can see why people like it. I can enjoy it, but I can't even sit through those other movies. And it made me
I had a really big problem with the other three, but I don't even want to get into that. That's a whole nother discussion that we will have in the future when Star Wars 3D comes out and we're watching that. So, so yeah, he made up his name, and it's based on Stage Curtain, which is called Scrim. Didn't make his first big screen movie. Didn't appear on screen in a film until he was 46 years old.
That's a long in the tooth age to be an ingenue.
It really is a very long time, actually. And I don't know. I just feel like he's just such an interesting character with the whole liner notes thing, the Grammy thing, the not becoming an actor until much later, and really the fact that not too many actors who, make their most recognizable role when they're almost in their 60s and it's a horror movie and you're playing this sort of creepy, weird alien from another dimension who is but isn't and whatever. He really embraced this. It's amazing. He's really embraced playing the tall man. He loves playing the tall man.
I got her on about the Helgity bacon. She can't find anything, and her excuse was not sure Japan has bacon.
Oh, please. Japan has bacon. See, there is no, it may be made from squid, but they have bacon. There's no way. I'm telling you, we found the one product that.
So now I kind of want to try squid bacon.
Squid bacon. There's another hashtag for you. Okay. So check out Angus Scrim.
Another thing about Angus Scrim is that he was in Alias. He was.
Yes, he was
on a couple episodes there, and he was just as creepy as ever. Apparently, he's about 6'2" now because he's shrunk a bit in his advanced age, but he's a big scary dude.
He is a big scary dude, and you imagine that when you look at Angus Scrim, when you watch the Phantasm movies, it'd be very difficult because a lot of that character is made up of the facial expressions that the character does.
Yep.
A lot of that, because he doesn't really
that
speak.
Voice.
Well, but that's the thing. He doesn't have really any lines other than that one line, right? So he doesn't really talk. He doesn't really say anything. It's all, that whole character is all the expression. It's all about his facial expressions and the way he moves, which he moves in this sort of awkward, unfamiliar way, which at first just seems ungainly and like he's just an ungainly old guy. Then you figure out, when you figure out that he's from another dimension, it's like, oh, well, he's not a human. He's pretending to be a human, so it makes sense that he would be a little comical in the way he moves, and he's kind of awkward and whatnot, but still very menacing.
When I met him, he was pimping a movie called Mind Warp, which also starred Bruce Campbell, and was the first movie from Fangoria's film imprint.
Huh.
And it has got to be one of the absolute worst movies I've ever seen. Even when I was 15, I could recognize that was just a terrible, terrible movie. And I loved anything Fangoria branded at that point. And it was just, wow, what an unbearably bad movie.
Well, I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
Sorry, Angus.
That's all right. Also, just want to mention, he also did liner notes for the Beatles.
That's pretty snazzy.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Okay, so, and you mentioned Fangoria. He did the Tall Man in a satirical commercial for Fangoria.
I actually have that saved on my computer.
There you go. Okay, we got about 20 minutes left in the show.
Indeed we do.
We've got a segment that we need to get to because it's one of my favorites. It's my favorite, one of my favorites. It's becoming one of the favorite segments.
Her very own Hello Kitty toaster.
The Hello Kitty toaster. I've seen the Hello Kitty toaster. Okay, she's proved it with a gun. That was enough. Time to ask the question, how unicorn are you? Now, this is the Halloween-themed version. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, so 347-326-9700 if you want to play along. You can also follow along on Twitter, and if we get any responses, twitter.com/FrankTheUnicorn. We'll throw those out. So anyone can get back with those. Here we go. First question. More frightening premise. Demonic dolls murder those who do not pass the test of being a child at heart, or the Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas.
Flintstones.
Flintstones. I agree.
Flintstones.
Horrifying.
Terrifying.
Horrifying. All right.
Was that the one with Stephen Baldwin?
Yes, it was.
Oh, terrifying.
Look, generally, if you're asking about two movies, if you're asking about a movie that is passable, because the original Flintstones, the John Goodman Flintstones, not a good movie, passable movie.
And had Kyle MacLachlan, which goes
and Halle Berry, passable movie. Passable movie, not a good movie. Meaning it's a film. Passable film. But if you're asking about the quality level between the film Stephen Baldwin is in and the film Stephen Baldwin is not in, the film that Stephen Baldwin is not in is always better than the movie that Stephen Baldwin is in. That is a rule. That is actually, when you go to college and you study college physics, first thing they teach you. If Stephen Baldwin is in a film, it's worse than a film that he's not in, regardless of film.
So
true story.
So if I were to put, say, The Usual Suspects up against, say,
with the exception
Mind Warp.
With the exception of The Usual Suspects or anything directed by Brett Leonard. There you go.
Exception that proves the rule.
There you go. That's the only film, and that's all about Spacey and Chaz Palminteri. Okay. Better choice. Now, this is a good one. We mentioned Rocky Horror. I hope we get some good response on this one. Better choice to cast as Frank Furter in a Rocky Horror Picture Show remake. Steven Seagal or Kathleen Turner?
I can't even imagine Kathleen Turner dressed as a woman. So I think I'd have to go with Steven Seagal.
Thus where the joke comes in.
Yes.
The humor.
Kathleen Turner is
Steven Seagal. They're the same damn person.
You know, I've never
if
seen
you
them
notice,
together.
If you notice, you never see them together.
You never do.
You really don't see Kathleen Turner after 1988. If you see her after 1988, what is she? She's gotten very heavy.
She's Chandler's dad on Friends.
She's playing Chandler's dad. She's still got the gravelly voice with all the different weird accents.
Much scarier.
Just think about it. Think about it. Have you ever seen?
She sounds like Candyman.
Let's tweet that out. Has anyone ever seen Kathleen Turner and Steven Seagal in the same place? Because they may be the same person.
I submit to you that they have not.
They have not. All right. Thank you.
James Lipton?
Yeah, James Lipton. All right.
I didn't realize that was going there.
It doesn't matter. It got there. Okay. Which pair of novelty Halloween teeth are more likely to scare neighborhood kids? Bleeding vampire fangs or giant Gary Busey choppers?
Well, they're not scared of vampires anymore because now they're just sparkly Mormon tweens.
Right.
So I think it's going to be the Gary Busey choppers.
I think Gary
especially
Busey...
if you consider whatever he's saying between those
What's
teeth.
coming from between them?
Yes. I got to say, I did... there's a makeup artist named Steve Johnson who did a lot of fun monster movies, and he taught me at the very same place where I met Angus Scrim. Steve Johnson taught me how to make my own novelty teeth,
right?
My own creepy monster teeth out of 2 Starburst fruit chews, and it was awesome. You take a strawberry Starburst and you kind of stretch it out a little and flatten it down, so that'll be your gum line.
Okay.
Then you take a lemon Starburst and you pull little pieces off of it and twist them into little cone shapes, and you put them along the strawberry Starburst, and then tuck that strawberry Starburst between your upper lip and your upper gum, and I can tell you that makes you some creepy monster teeth, deliciously creepy monster teeth.
I think we're going to have to put that on the site. We're going to have to do that as a post on the site because that sounds really cool. We're going to have to make monster teeth.
It's a very neat little way to save yourself some dough around Halloween.
You know what? I wish I would have known about that earlier because you know what we would have done? We would have had a contest where the best pair of monster teeth would have won a prize.
Well, that can still be a contest. We can have that stretch out to next week. Tweet us your pictures, email us your pictures of your Starburst monster teeth, and let's see who comes up with the scariest set of Starburst choppers.
I think that's a great plan. That is a great idea. And then next week we'll do a giveaway. We'll do some kind of giveaway.
There you go.
Whatever it is. I don't know. We'll find something.
The best part, you get to eat the rest of the Starburst. It's only 2 little candies you're using there. Whole rest of the pack.
Unless you want to make a full mouth, you could do the bottom too, right? Then
you're looking at 4 chews.
You eat 4 out of.
There's 12 chews in a pack.
And you know what? You could use the red ones for bloody teeth. You could do
there you go.
Bloody teeth
with
the red ones. Mix a few of them in there. That would be a great thing. That's really cool, man. I'm glad that came up. See, that's a great.
Thank you to Steve Johnson.
And thank you to Gary Busey for having strange, spooky teeth for me to ask a question about. Okay.
And no thank you to Steve Johnson for marrying Linnea Quigley and taking her away from the rest of us.
Damn it. Linnea Quigley, the queen of 80s B-movie horror movies.
The Scream Queen.
She is the one on the box cover of Surf Nazis Must Die. That's how famous.
She is the one with the lipstick in Night of the Demons, if you haven't seen that lately.
She is the most famous 80s horror movie actress, B-movie actress of all time ever, and one of the best. You knew that if you rented a movie, if she was in it, A, gonna see boobs, B, gonna be a great movie. Gonna be a great bad horror
movie. And just how cool a name is that, Linnea Quigley?
It really is. It sounds like Tom Selleck could play her down under. No one's gonna.
I don't want to think about her down under.
No, because
I know
he was in the movie Quigley Down Under. Right,
I'm aware, with the Aborigines.
That's right. Okay,
go away.
So here we go with Laura San Giacomo. Okay.
Whatever happened to Laura San Giacomo?
It's a good question. There's our Gutenberg of the week. Okay.
I just remember she had that tiny little triangle head, and then she disappeared.
I think you know what it was. She was great on Just Shoot Me. I think that her name was too hard for casting directors to pronounce, and they just stopped.
I liked her in The Stand, but she had the tiniest little head. Okay, moving on.
All right. Here's where we get into the good questions. Okay.
Like a reverse bobblehead.
As if all the other ones weren't. Okay, they were. Scarier horror movie premise. Stay with me on this one.
Oh, this is going to take a while. This is a paragraph. I can see this.
Yeah. An evil doctor who hates Halloween because of a terrible Halloween-related accident in his youth volunteers to x-ray all the kids' Halloween candy, which he does. With so much radiation, it causes the youth of the local town and all people who consume radiated candy, including greedy parents, to turn into horrible, malformed mutant zombies who then stage gladiator-style fights in which the prize is more radiated candy, which is collected and savored by the zombies for its ability to make them stronger, until there is only one supremely powerful zombie left, who is then defeated by a wisecracking Woody Harrelson and his pal, Stripes Jackson, the badass alley cat voiced by Michael Ian Black. Or
I lost you halfway through that, but go on.
Doesn't matter. Or an evil boss uses verbal insults, paper cuts, and random office supplies to downsize his employees when their performance does not meet his expectations.
There were air quotes on downsize there.
There you go. Which they never do until the end of the film, when after killing everyone else, he realizes he now has to do all the work himself.
I would actually go see that second movie.
Would you really?
You had me on that movie.
But you don't think the
Clint
evil...
Howard as the evil boss? I'm going to go see that.
What about Clint Howard as the evil doctor who's X-raying the kid's candy with way too much...
Too much going on in that movie.
No, too much?
Gladiator fights. Michael Ian Black.
Zombie gladiator fights.
Going on.
CGI animated cat, wisecracking alley cat, killing zombies with Woody Harrelson. That's too much?
Too much going on.
One day, someone's going to make one of these. It's going to happen. I'm going to get a call from Jim Wynorski, and he's going to say, "Can we put some boobs in there? It'll be a great flick."
Are you mocking the man who made the Return of Swamp Thing?
No, I am not.
In my studio?
No, I ate your sandwich. Okay, you know what? It's covered in mustard. Nobody wants it. We're bringing it back.
Oh, we're bringing that back.
All right.
It is Halloween.
So you'd rather pick the boss? You like the evil boss concept?
That actually sounds like a decent movie.
It could be a decent...
That could be like a serial mom type...
funny, low-budget
like
sort
Severance.
of...
You ever see Severance?
No.
It's a similar concept, but very British.
Okay.
You could do sort of like an American thing with that.
See, there you go. Okay, so this question, I'm sure, is this one generated a lot of discussion today for us when I was... I kind of reviewed these with Mrs. the Unicorn. I asked her to get a feel. This one generated a ton of discussion. I would rather fight with a gang of mutants or a gang of clowns.
I'd have to go with a gang of mutants because clowns are much scarier.
I agree. See, and my thing was I can try to reason with mutants.
Yeah.
I can't reason with clowns.
Yeah.
You can't reason with a clown.
You can't.
Clowns cannot be reasoned with.
They're all grease paint and scariness.
Not possible. They have wigs. They're, big shoes. There's like 100 of them in one car. You can't reason with them. They're frightening.
I just finished a great novel by the very, very great Bentley Little, and it's called His Father's Son, and there's some clown stuff in there that is giving me waking nightmares.
Nice.
Like, all week, I have not been able to shake some of the images he put in that book.
Because clowns are scary.
Clowns are terrifying.
If you're approached by a gang of mutants, you can say, clearly you'll know they're mutants. You can see that they're mutants. You can say, holy crap, you guys are mutants. That's awesome. How did you become mutants? And hopefully they won't want to just randomly attack and kill you at that point because you're being sympathetic to them. And the whole point of mutants is mutants attack when they feel that people are being unsympathetic, when people are misjudging them and sort of judging the book by the cover and saying, well, you've got orange skin, fish scales, and 6 arms, you're frightening. When in reality, it could be the nicest guy on the block. You don't know.
Could be.
You didn't take the time to ask.
But the clown, not the nicest guy on the block.
You know the clown is evil.
Yes.
There's no question. No question. Clowns never have a good intention because he's either going to mess around, try to make jokes at your expense, or more likely just kill you, or both.
Mm-hmm. Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that.
They do not.
No, they'd much rather have the guy with the orange skin, the fish scales, and the 6 arms. I agree.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, you know what's more frightening? Mutant clowns. A gang of mutant clowns. That's the worst. Right?
You don't have to go that far. Just the clowns alone is enough.
If they're mutated,
I'm already having nightmares from that Bentley Little book. I don't need more. Thank you.
Okay, so then I'd rather have... Okay, the next question. I'd rather have as a neighbor Ned Flanders or Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy.
Really?
Really.
I got to go with Ned.
Got to go with Ozzy.
Tell me why.
Because Ned's kids are the most annoying little kids I've ever heard in my life.
I was saving sugar for my wedding day.
Yeah.
Really?
I would rather have Ozzy on my block. Besides, he doesn't know where he is half the time. He's he seems like he could use a helping hand. I'd be happy to help him, take out the trash, whatever.
See,
he can't find it.
I would rather have Flanders because I feel like I could borrow or steal anything from him, no problem.
You couldn't do that with Ozzy? He's not even going to know who you are the next morning.
But he's a Prince of Darkness. He could do something bad to me, whereas Ned Flanders,
I don't know if he's a Prince of Darkness anymore.
He'll give me a diddly.
He'll
give me a doodly.
At this point, maybe he's a Duke of Darkness.
Duke of Dark. You got the Duke. You've got the Duke of Darkness. You've got the second Duke to the cousin of the Archduke of Darkness, something like that. Some weird.
But he seems like such a nice guy.
I really think he is a nice guy at heart. I think it's just, again, he's doing a show.
He seems a lot less nosy than Ned. Ned's always getting in your business.
But Ned
Ozzy couldn't care less about your business.
But again, I think Ned is just so good-hearted to just you want to be around someone like that, even if he's misguided with it.
That may be.
Plus, you can just make fun of the mustache.
True.
And again, you can borrow anything from
We
it.
should get into this because we have like 7 minutes left.
That's true. Okay, more fun retro car. Old school Beetle or old school Gremlin?
Got to go with the Beetle.
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone's picking the Beetle over the Gremlin. Why does no one love the Gremlin or AMC Pacer? Am I the only one? Me and
You're
Wayne
the only
Campbell?
one. Yeah,
All right.
it's the Beetle.
You know, you couldn't get. Let's put it this way: you couldn't get an option with an old school Beetle where you had the Levi's denim interior. You could do that with a Gremlin.
But should you?
The entire, because nothing says class like a denim car,
interior.
a denim interior car.
Which car
leads
that'll
us.
soak up your sweat.
That's
nice.
right. Which leads us to the next question: bigger giveaway as to Canadianness. Silly accent or all denim outfit?
All denim outfit. The accent you could be from Michigan. You could be
from the upper.
Wisconsin,
You could be
could
from
get
the
a
Upper
little bit
Peninsula. You could be Minnesota.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're not gonna. But the all denim outfit. That's gonna do it.
Why do Canadians wear denim socks? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Okay. At Halloween, do you prefer to pull tricks or to get treats?
Clearly, I'm a man built for treats.
I prefer the treats, although I'm very proud of the trick I pulled this morning.
I'm sure you are. You'll be paying for it for months.
Okay, here. This one's going to piss you off. More surprising food ingredient used as blood in horror movie. Ketchup, corn syrup, warmed cheese whiz.
I'd still have to go with the chocolate syrup from Psycho. But if I have to choose from those three, I'm going to go with the cheese whiz. But again,
Embalming
not blood,
fluid.
Embalming fluid.
Okay. Clearly, though.
Mortuary.
Clearly, when you watch Phantasm,
so
in the original,
when he melts down at the end of Phantasm 2, it's a lot more convincing. It's a lot less cheese whizzy
okay.
and a lot more fluidy.
Because really, with the finger, it's cheese whiz.
Yes.
You can tell it's warm. That's what warm cheese whiz looks like.
They had a budget of $140.
I think, they shot the movie for like nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Scarier to be pursued by.
They couldn't even afford to get that kid a haircut.
No, they couldn't. No one could afford a haircut in the 70s or spend all their money on gas. Okay. Scarier to be, for their AMC Gremlin, their Pacer. Scarier to be pursued by, just for the record, Ted Bundy drove a Beetle, an old school Beetle.
That's nice.
I wouldn't want that association. I'd go with the Gremlin. Okay. I swear to God.
Yeah, but you know who drove a Gremlin? Stripe.
Who?
Stripe, the scary-ass lead Gremlin.
Oh, right. All the more reason to drive a Gremlin. Because, it's your... All right. Anyway, I'm bringing it back. I'm going to make those cars popular. Okay. Scarier to be pursued by psychotic axe-wielding killer or the hand of the psychotic axe-wielding killer that you just cut off, his body causing the rest of him to fall 1,000 feet into a closed mine shaft.
As a gentleman who just watched Evil Dead 2 last night, I can say that I have no problem kicking a hand out of my house. I'd be a little more scared about the entire killer. Whereas
Than just the hand.
I'm pretty sure I could take care of.
Okay, I kind of agree. It's a lot tougher to fight off an entire person than just a hand. Okay, even if it's a psychotic axe-wielding killer hand. Better band to play your awesome Halloween house party. Think about this one. Oingo Boingo or the Ramones.
Don't have to think about it. It would have to be the Ramones because several of them are dead. And at this point, that's a Halloween party when you get some ghosts playing music for you.
That is the exact right answer. That is exactly correct. You have to pick the Ramones because some of them have moved on, and how cool would it be to have a Halloween party with ghost Ramones playing?
That's right.
That's
not even a question.
That is perfect. You got that answer perfect.
Doesn't
happen often.
Much as I adore Oingo Boingo and always have,
they do our opening music. Thank you for 5 seconds. They do 5 seconds of our opening music, whatever. But yes, Ghost Ramones. You got to go with the Ramones. Okay. Fact. This is just a fact. Steven Seagal is the only man to ever defeat an actual ghost in a fist fight. Rumor is the fight started when the ghost began haunting Seagal for, quote, stealing his look with wearing sheets and all.
Cute. Are you suggesting Seagal's in the KKK, or are you just making fun of his moo-moo?
No, the moo-moos.
Just checking.
Okay. Another rumor is that on an upcoming Maury Povich, it will be revealed that our beloved old-timey tall tale legend Paul Bunyan is actually the father of a very famous action star / deputy chief sheriff. Now, what I'm wondering is, how will his team take the news, and can he use martial arts to help solve the problem?
Glug, glug. That's me doing the lawman drinking game.
Just making fun of
lawman. Taking a drink every
okay.
time you mention that.
Last question. Would you freak out more when carving a pumpkin if, when you make the first cut, the pumpkin cries and whimpers, or you make the first cut and pull out a bloody knife, upon further inspection you discover you've accidentally stabbed the cookie-making elf who was living inside the pumpkin while he and his wife Eloise Elf spent some time apart to see if they could work things out?
Really, you thought that through to the point where the elf is separated from his elf wife?
Yes, and if you killed him, well, then I guess they would have no chance now. You made her choice for her. Thank you. That's really nice of you, elf killer.
Nice.
Just for a pumpkin.
You're a terrible, terrible person.
Pumpkin cries and whimpers, or you kill the cookie-making elf hiding inside.
I can't take crying and whimpering, so I'd actually feel worse for that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
and then I could run away with Eloise Elf. So.
Well, and you could also
either way, everybody wins.
You could sell the elf body on eBay.
That's true.
I don't know if that's actually legal or not. Don't.
The E on eBay stands for elf.
For elf.
Don't know that.
Oh, okay, good. Elf Bay. All right, yeah. Do not kill elves and sell them on eBay, please.
Show's ending. We're running out of time.
The show is ending. See how great we made it exactly on time. We went through and the timing was great. I want to thank
Jack Licata.
Well, I want to thank Jack Licata. I want to thank Beans. I want to thank you.
Oh, you're welcome
for being here. I want to thank our producer. I want to thank Jack Licata, jacklicata.com. Check him out. Thank you for being our musical guest. I want to thank Alfredo Fettuccini for calling in. We didn't get as much to talk to him as much as we would have wanted to.
Probably because we kept talking over him.
We did keep talking over him. It was a little tough.
We apologize for that.
We do, but it was a little tough with the Italian. It was a little hard with the accent. So do us a favor, folks. Go check out Jack this week. We'll put the links up. So
I'd also like to thank our pile of tweeters.
I would also like to thank our pile of tweeters. We got the usual suspects here. Deep in Your Tonsils. We got Robot Embassy, Lovely Lady, 74, PR Diva Rach. We got Mama Lovebee,
Lady Tinkerbell,
Allykins, and Madman. And Be a Bunny. We want to thank all of you as well. And
if we forgot anyone, we apologize, but we'll probably forget again because that's a lot of tweets.
It is, and we only have about 10 seconds left. So thank you very much for joining us. Join us next week on Sunday, 7 to 9 p.m., all new Frank the Unicorn radio broadcast. Happy Halloween, everybody.